Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tyler's Tavern. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the Tavern. Pull up my notes. I need my notes up. First off, I want to thank everybody for showing up to the first session. We're going to start off like we always do. It is a tavern, so we're going to talk about what we're drinking. Ooh, I think I'm echoing. Oh yeah, Twitch is too high. I have a beautiful old-fashioned handmade by me downstairs in this beautiful crystal glass. It's really good. We'll go down the chat log. Colton, what you drinking?
Sorry, I had myself muted and I was on TaleSpire. I am looking at my fridge. I think I'm going to have a twisted tea is what I'm about to do.
Nice. Get twisted.
Get twisted, my dude.
Are you gonna knock somebody the fuck out with that twisted tea?
Wow.
Fuck yeah, dude. I gotta get weaponized.
Colin, my patron, what are you drinking?
Water.
Hell yeah, bro. Hydro, homies.
Yeah, hydration.
I'm trying to lose this weight, man.
It be like that, though.
Like that, though.
Unfortunately, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I pray for you.
Oh, no, I'll be fine.
Emily, what you got?
I actually grabbed one of the fancy things out of our little mini fridge of booze. It's called Modern Times Beer. It's a tropical fruit gose, G-O-S-E. I don't know anything about beers, but that's what it says on the front.
I thought it was a cider.
It says gose.
Okay. All right.
But it's got pineapple, passion fruit, guava, and orange in it.
Huh. Oh, sounds like less like
sounds pleasant.
I might actually like that.
Well, I'm about to taste it and see if it's actually any good.
Charles, what you got?
Fucking water.
Hell yeah, Hydro homies.
Hydro homies.
Hydro homies.
Connor, what
Stay
you got?
strong.
I have the leftovers of a bottle of Tito's.
Ooh.
And some ocean spray cranberry juice for a classic cranberry vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tis the season for cranberry.
Yeah, dude, I love cranberry.
And then at the bottom we have Mark, who.
There you go.
There you are. As I say, you might be a little AFK at the beginning, but what you drinking?
Actually, right now I have a cappuccino because I need the caffeination pretty bad today.
Be like that, my dude.
Well, I had a horrendous toothache that kept me up for 90% of the night yesterday. So
Ooh.
it do be like that. It's all good though.
Yeah.
We here.
In a second, I have something that will
You
show.
get down to the root of the problem, huh? Ooh.
I mean, you know.
I'll see myself out.
You're in timeout.
I actually have a plaque on the wall for it.
Oh my God! Jesus! Like that.
Plaque on the wall.
All right. Well, let's get some of the other house news out of the way. In a second, I'll show on the screen will be everybody's Twitter handles if you want to follow them. I go by SETX on basically all the socials. All right, bro, breathe.
And no, he's thinking about what's on his Twitter as well.
Yeah, it's almost like you should think about what you post, huh? Don't worry about it. All right, we do have the D&D Twitch overlay. Although in emails with them, I think they're sunsetting it soon for a new version. But it will if you put your mouse over, it'll show you all the characters, their stats. You can open the character sheets. To keep accurate health during combat and stuff, you might have to refresh, but that's not that big a deal. Additionally, it would be great if you could follow us on the other socials. And I do got this shill page. If you want to follow through, we got following on Twitch. All of our VODs will go up on YouTube very soon afterwards. And then if you want to follow updates, we do have Twitter. And then finally, World Anvil is the place where I put a lot of the information about the lore and the building of the world. So if you want to learn, if there's a name that gets thrown around or like a topic you want to read more about, it's almost certainly in the World Anvil, which will be in the descriptions everywhere. And yeah, on YouTube, we also just concluded the prequel to this game, the Exile of Outlaws, which saw 4 of our players, Colin, Colton, Mark, and Connor, all be a bunch of idiots and chase down. They're a train robbing gang which had to chase down and kill the members of another gang by word of the military. So if you're curious on that, the whole thing's available to watch on YouTube. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and you see the length of this video, don't be too worried. At the end of every game, we have what's called Tavern Therapy, which is where we kind of decompress and talk about our characters and what we'd like things to go, or what we thought about that session today. So there's probably a lot of shill at the end that you can choose to watch or not, but the session won't be as long as it kind of looks. I'd also like to take the time to briefly shill for one of our players here, Connor. Every single person in this game, so this game is live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. CST, every other Tuesday. In the alternating Tuesdays is Connor's game, so if you want to talk about that, Connor.
Yeah, certainly. In my game, not quite as grounded, it's more so in the stars as you venture across the long-forgotten star system in Quantum Redliners, a Starfinder campaign that is held on the opposite Tuesday of this game. The pre-show for that starts at 6:30, where we just kind of hang out and talk about stuff, and then the actual campaign itself starts at 7. It is a high-stakes, high-risk, high-flying, no-rules type of game. So if you like doing cool stuff in space, you should check that out.
Yeah,
Twitch.tv/LimeyPorcupine. Follow me on my Twitter for updates on that.
We're idiots in that one too.
We're idiots.
Turbo idiots in that one.
Turbo stupid.
If you want to see the adventures of Dale Jr. and company, that's the game to go see it.
If you want to know how far transhumanism can be pushed romantically.
Oh, buddy. Woo! If only that wasn't accurate.
It's a nightmare.
It's just a dating sim.
It's honestly becoming a dating sim at this point.
It's like almost like Tiger King in space. If you want to kind
Good
campaign
descriptor
like
for it.
that.
It is Tiger King / Letterkenny in space.
It's a travesty, and I love every second of it.
It's honestly becoming always sunny.
And one of us may or may not be an atomic bomb. Find out more on Quantum Redliners.
Atomic bomb. Someone did terrible things to a space whale. Find out.
Hey, bro, chill about that space whale, all right? We don't talk about the space whale. Well, with that, I think we shall get started. Is everybody excited?
Yeah. I'm so pumped. I'm pogging. I'm champing.
Yo, all right. Well, a sip of my drink. I would like to ask all of my players to currently mute themselves.
Just tell me to shut the fuck up. Damn. Jeez.
Sorry, I got a DM from someone. All right. We will head over to the world. Here, upon the continent of Greater Yorkit, the world is at a tipping point. On the scale of ill-stability balances politics, war, theology, ethics, and even the land itself. You see, what makes magic in this world distinct from other forms of energy is that it fundamentally breaks the laws of equivalent exchange. When magic is cast, something is either added to this world, which is distinguished as high magic, or something is lost from this world, which is distinguished as low magic. High magic is the magic of those who spend their entire lives to learn, long-studied wizards, elders of the people of the wilds, and worshippers of gods. Low magic is the magic of the common people. Spells and cantrips learned over a year, not a lifetime, passed from generation to aid in everybody's lives. These magics were rarely thought about in the grand scheme by most outside of their own uses. There were people who certainly felt strong for or against one or another. However, it was usually in the grand kind of philosophical sense. This was until the year of Pelor, 728, when those simple, blue, beautiful crystals were discovered in the shadowed canyons. You see, these low magic crystals have changed everything. Being able to be imbued with spells, these crystals can use the energy of what's around them to cast these spells. Much more so than what is usually possible with low magic. These crystals were then discovered in other remote territories. Massacres were committed in mining and protecting them, and the lives have been forever changed. The advent of low magic crystals has allowed people the ability of upward mobility, no longer have to live as subsistent farmers. Families spend their entire lives plowing the land. Now they have tractors and other powered equipment to help. Tinkerers have become full artificers, discovering new technologies to help the common man. The world is on the brink of industrialization. However, those who had issues before with low magic, their concerns are now amplified. Those religious felt it was sacrilege to use anything but their god's high magic. Some worried about the massive energy now leaving this world would exceed what we were gaining. Yet others are worried about how limited of a resource these crystals really would be. Many just wished for more research before mass consumption. This came to a head in the year of Pelor, 760, when the fracturing of the shards occurred. This continent was once known as Greater Yorkit, so named after the Druid tribes that lived there. People to the east of the Divid Mountains had mostly shared these concerns against the crystals, and had come together and voted to stop the mining and use of them. The shards west of the Divid Mountain, those, were the ones mining and benefiting from the crystals, and an act of defiance claimed succession from the east, and therefore fracturing the shards. The new countries would be known as Yorkit to the east, and the United Shard to the west. Upon declaration, Yorkit would declare war for unification, thrusting both sides into a very bloody conflict. Here, the shards in the west came together rather quickly. The initial successors were the swamplands of Balithglade, where Rougeford, the center of research and innovation, was taking place, and also was the Shadowed Canyons to the south, where they were being mined. They both gave up some of their land to the center to form a central government for the new country and sprawling grasslands. The ever-sprawling farmlands of Greathawk would join shortly afterwards, giving the United Shard the breadbasket they desperately needed. With them, the desolate deserts and tundras and wastelands were annexed to the south and were called the Southern Territory, giving them undeniable access to the other low magic crystal mines. Next came the forested lands of Ulachi, who felt like they should have the freedom to make their own decisions in this conflict. Finally and reluctantly came Apramea, the land of many Druid tribes. They wanted no part in this war between the two, but found themselves on the wrong side of the mountains. They eventually signed a treaty, however, many fought back to the death against this. The war started slow, with both sides taking time to mobilize, yet once the fighting began, the United Shard found themselves quickly taking holds in the mountain passes and gaining sea dominance. You see, wars in the past were fought with the strongest warriors, mages, and healers a country could muster. But now, with the low magic crystals, you can strap any spell to any individual and immediately make them effective on the battlefield. The United Shard believed they could achieve a swift victory over Yorkit and end this conflict once and for all. That was until the Third Massacre of the Mines occurred. In 764, a group known as the Exiled Outlaws walked into the mines of the Shadowed Canyon and murdered every man and woman present within and around the mines, and took a precious payload in the process. Quickly, a group was gathered. An opposing gang called the Black Iron Bandits were able to track down, kill, and recover each and every one of the Exiled Outlaws. They are now considered war heroes. This event did, however, slow down production of the crystals dramatically. The United Shard was pushed back on many fronts, and the war is now up in the air, and victory is within grasp for either country. People everywhere have their opinions on these crystals. New recruits are joining the ranks of the military every day from every imaginable walk of life for their own personal reasons. It is March 15th in the year of Pelor, 765. Today, the sun will rise, and this will mark the final day of the lives for 6 of these new recruits joining the military of the United Shard. Rearrange things. We first head... Oh, actually, I had a map for this. We're going to first head to the Shadowed Canyons. The sun has already made half of its journey on this fateful day. It is high noon, and the sun, positioned straight above, is beaming down like a torrent of flame across this ocean of sand, whose waves form dunes as far as the eye can see. The winds are high. They carry sand like small beads on which contact makes the flesh turn red and sting everywhere it touches. Here in the middle of this vast emptiness is a sole building, worn down by the sands of time. But to those in the know, it's a true oasis among this forsaken land. Approaching this building is a lone man daring to trek through this unforgiving place. The man's sand-warped robe drags through the final swaths of sand leading up to the deck of the tavern. This oasis was humble, but well-traveled establishment. It was one of the few hubs for adventurers traveling across the Shadow Canyons. There we go. We'll leave them up. As he opens the door, he sees nothing but an old tavern, empty of patrons. There's a menagerie of tapestries and worn-down equipment all around. Only one person is here, and he's behind the bar. When he speaks up, it's a gruff old man, worn by time and the sand. He shouts, "Well, what brings you to this hellhole in the middle of the day? People don't usually start traveling until sundown." The man walks up, pushes back his robes, and pulls down his hood. Colton, I would like for you to describe your character.
All right. I am playing Brand, a fire genasi with dark red skin and a flaming skull. Both common traits among his tribe, known as the Ashen tribe. He wears a thick leather mask on the lower half of his face that's got toxin filters sort of sewn into it and coming out with like various tubes and filter methods. And he's wearing a long woolen robe that covers his skin from head to toe, protecting him from many long treks across the shadowed canyons. And he says, I came for a whiskey, maybe two if I'm lucky. There's also a letter waiting for me here from what I understand. Name's Brand.
I would like to surprise my players at this point.
Oh.
I'm sure y'all are going to be popping off in Discord, but I actually have the surprise thanks to Colin. So y'all can make sure to thank him, and we can gooze about it during Tavern Therapy. There you go. All right, we will continue. The bartender turns around and grabs two lowball glasses, places them on the bar, then bends over and pulls a half-empty brown bottle from the bottom shelf. Ah, yeah. Couriers dropped it off this morning. Must be important for you to come out here during the unforgiving heat of the day. He begins to pour the two drinks and slowly slides one over to Brand. It's hell out there. He then takes a slow sip from the other glass.
That's all the way from Rougeford. That's where I'm headed. Off to join the army.
Well, then I reckon it is important. He opens a small satchel to his side and grabs a letter. It's properly postmarked and has a formal seal. It appears to be from the Barbers. He hands the letter to Brand, who grabs it. As the bartender makes proper eye contact with Brand for the first time, you see a realization come to his face and his brow raises. Wait, aren't you that doctor helping out all them crying plague victims? I heard you did some real good out there.
Brand takes a glass of whiskey and just, like, shoots the whole thing back. He says, I'm not sure that you can call a 100% death rate good work, but helping them onto a better path. Yeah, I suppose that's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 20 years since this all started. Takes a breath. Pretty early on, my wife got it. I'll never forget watching her as she passed. The fluids leaving her body. Her last look was that of the tears falling down her cheek. He kind of looks to the side and takes a big exhale. But once I lost the missus, I headed out as far from people as I could to avoid that same awful fate. That's how this place started up.
Brand nods and says, yeah, I lost my wife too. I know what that's like. And Brand lifts his drink. He says, to love, new and gone. We've lost too much to the shadowed canyons and to the crying death.
Bartender gives a real somber look, and he raises his glass, cheersing brands. He shoots the remainder of his drinks and pulls out that bottle and starts to pour a second round. Well, why would you want to leave all those guys you've been helping to join the military? Especially at your age. War's a young man's game.
Can't fix the crying death just by being a hospice service. The military has resources. And some young, healthy soldiers who could survive a bad potion or two. Should my experiments fail, again, it's time to do something about this disease. I'm tired of watching good people die.
He exhales out of his nose and goes, yeah. Well, if anybody has the power and affluence right now, it's the military. Complex is at full steam. They're not going to stop until they get their freedom from Yorkit. Well, you got this no-name bartender in the middle of nowhere believing in you, Mr. Brand. These drinks are on me.
Awfully nice of you. I'm afraid it's time for me to go. And Bram puts his hood back on.
Hey, wait. I can't have you traveling in this. At least stay until the sun goes down. It's a damn death sentence out there.
My train leaves tonight, I'm afraid. And frankly, I've trekked worse than this.
Well, here. And you see he takes a second, turns around, and he grabs this very odd jug from this piles of junk of menageries behind him, and he begins to fill it with water, and he puts it back onto the counter and pushes it towards Brand and says, at least take this. Someone left it once. It's odd. I don't know why this jug has so many holes that are corked, but it holds water just fine.
That is, strange, but, I could always use more water. Perhaps I could use it with my experiments.
Brandon stands up and takes just a second to adjust his thing, and he ties that jug to his belt. And from an inner coat pocket, he pulls out a metal case. And carefully, making sure to face the bartender as to not see what's in the case, he very slowly and carefully opens it. And within that case are 10 small vials, each of which are labeled Crying Death. He carefully places the letter from the barbers on top of the vials, closes the case, and places it very carefully back into his pocket, his inside pocket.
Well, it's about time I head out.
Well, Godspeed, Mr. Brand. That Brand takes his leave and ventures back into the unforgiving deserts. Let's see if we can get him out there. There we go. The sun...
Through several walls.
The sun, after hanging so high in the sky for so long, finally begins to descend from its unforgiving zenith. Brand now leaves his former life here in the Shadowed Canyons and steps towards the train that will lead him to his new one. Cool, if you don't mind muting yourself. And then the other players just make sure that you have all of the documents up. Let's head back to the map. Next, we head further north into the capital of the United Shard, Rockball, within the capital shard. It's now a little later in the day. The sun is in that beautiful golden hour that basks all the buildings in this beautiful warm glow. Here in the capital shard, or the capital shard of the United Shard, in the city of Rockbalt, life is about with the hustle and bustle of people coming and going. The city has a life of its own in a way that only really large cities tend to get. There are ringing of bells from Palor's cathedrals, vendors in the stalls making their living, kids running around, and families flocking to delicious restaurants for their bountiful dinner for the night. But every city has its spots that the locals tell you to avoid. It's the part where they tell you to watch your wallet and don't go after dark. Here, within that part of town, in a worn-down one-room apartment, is where the Wildhearts live. Charles, I would like for you to describe your character for everybody.
Okay. The character's name is Tatho Wildheart. He is a Leonin, and fairly built up. Family as family of blacksmiths and whatnot. He's done odd jobs in the meantime before his father got all hurt, and that's basically it.
All right. Also within this home is Tatho's younger siblings, a younger brother who seems quiet, timid, his even younger sister who's a ball of energy and excitement. His father is older, but walks with a heavy limp and a cane. Lastly, his loving mother speaks up. Well, it's not much, but we managed to save up and get a whole pie. And your father brought home a loaf of bread from work tonight. And you hear his sister go, "Wow! Actually something sweet? Yes!" His father rustles his young daughter's hair and says, "But of course, Dimne, we'd have to send Tatho off with a full stomach." And his sister interjects back, "Yeah, how else is he gonna beat up all those Yorkit guys?"
Well, y'all treat me so well. Like, y'all didn't have to go out and do all this for me.
His mother says, No, really, we will be fine." And his father goes, "Yes, I got the job over at the bakery. I may not be able to work at the blacksmith's anymore after my accident, but I've recovered, and we've paid off those who came debt collecting. They didn't leave us with much, but your pop sure as hell is strong enough to lift some bread and use a till, I tell you what." He starts to cough.
Look, Pops, man, look, take it easy.
Bye.
You don't have to do all this. Look.
His father speaks up and goes, "Bah, I'll be fine. No bread's gonna get the best of me." The mother goes, "Well, yes, we'll make sure to take care of old Zygus here," and she puts his hand on his shoulder. "Plus, your brother Krios isn't too far from being able to get his own job as well." And the brother goes, "Yeah, I'll grow up big and strong like you and Dad."
Look, man, you'll never be as big as me, but you can keep on trying, though.
They both kind of laugh, and the sister chimes up and goes, "Yeah, show those green coats the one for." And the dad goes, "Yeah? And I suppose you can finally give that sword I made you some real action for once."
See, I can never be truly grateful for this sword you given me, especially since it's the last thing you ever made.
I'd have those debt collectors bust my other knee, too, if it meant I could give you even more. He'd sure look good in full plate armor. And the mother chimes up, "Come now, no more talks of our troubles. The Wildhearts are finally looking up for the first time in a while." She gives a warm smile and starts to break the bread. And after a moment of silence, Tatho's younger brother chimes in. "Well, Tatho, do you really have to leave? I don't want you to go."
Look, I gotta go. I gotta go mainly for two reasons. Look, you'll figure out when you're older for the first one. It's just about me getting stronger and whatnot. And the other half is like, look at how we're living. I want to be able to provide a better living situation for me and you.
The father goes, "Yeah, you are the strongest of our kin, and will make all the Leonins proud of my son." And the mother goes, "And well, while you're out there, you might even try to find a lovely lady. It wouldn't be too long before these two are old and we'll need some new youngins around. I heard that the Duskmane family had their daughter join the military as well. You should be on the lookout."
Ma! Why are you listening? Well, if that's... yeah, okay.
Ooh, I forgot to turn on your head. I'm so sorry. The mother goes, "Well, anyway, make sure you go get your rest so that you will be at your best." And the father goes, "Yeah, we love you, son. How about we cut this pie?" And the siblings all start to cheer in the sound of being treated as the golden rays of the sun peer through the small window. The family continues to tell stories of Tatho with some of the troubles he's run into, as well as the funny ones they used to jab at him. They shared the past memories, and in this process form a new one as their last dinner all together. Charles, you can say something. I forgot to turn your head on if you want to see what that looks like. There it
okay,
goes.
hold on.
There he's talking.
Hey, there it is.
Alright.
Hell yeah. This shit looks cool as fuck, man. You're doing a damn good job,
Thanks,
man. Hell yeah.
You want to go
Alright,
ahead
that's
and
it.
mute yourself, and we'll get on to the world map. Next, we head even further north into the swamplands of Glade. It's now even later in the day, though you would not be able to tell. A heavy fog, those common in the marshes of Glade, surround everything and everyone. It set in during the morning and it has not let up, even as the rain begins coming down. While enveloped by the mist, you can't see far, but within these walls, nobody needs to. Here, within the swamp, is a small prison, maximum security. The walls are high, stone, and topped with many, many armed guards who feel the pressing weight of these heavy drops fall upon them as their own gaze falls upon the prisoners currently in the yard, walking aimlessly with their few granted precious minutes of fresh air. Without means, you don't make it over the wall. Yet, in the exit wing, we find a small glimmer of hope as a guard begins to talk to an inmate. Colin, I'd like you to describe your character.
Can you please do some work for me real quick? I can't see anything.
Oh, yes, I am so sorry.
I've been trapped in desert land for forever.
Yeah, I forgot to bring Charles to his too.
Yeah, I meant to say that, but I didn't know if that's
Well,
not
that's fine.
That's how it was supposed to go, though. But
We got a VOD. Alright, go ahead, Colin. Describe your character.
One moment.
Yeah.
I'm getting oriented. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, KK is basically just like fairly, not heavy set, but larger, human woman, dark skin, gray hair, and just sort of a nervous manner about her.
Okay. And so the guard at the other side of the table goes, Well, looking over your records, it seems like you had been had by someone with money. That's how you ended up here, huh?
Yeah. It's just kind of, new guard rotation. It happens.
Yeah, well, you chose a halfway decent time to get caught, it seems. You qualified for the amnesty program. Your crime wasn't deemed unforgivable by the state. You passed both the written test and the in-person interview. You might just see the light of day.
You say that like that's something I want.
Well, seems like the military is happy to have you out there fighting rather than in here rotting. But I do have to ask, what made you join? Got some kind of stake in the fight between Yorkit and the Shard? You just hate that much here. Because we both know you're going to be a grunt on the front line. And not many people are making it back in one piece.
Yeah, sorry, fuck this place. No, there's no dog in the fight. Can you just give me my paperwork?
Alright then. Only one who can judge you is Paylor once you see him in the afterlife.
Paylor.
Let's get your paperwork finished and you'll be on your way out. If you will, please sign here. This is to formally agree to a 4-year military campaign tour in exchange for your current sentencing.
Great. Let me just sign all this.
Yeah, so he takes a second and signs everything. Well, I'm now obligated to free you from your shackles. And he takes a very heavy iron key and first unshackles your ankles, stands up, takes a second to look you in the eye, and then goes down to your wrists and uses that key to unshackle, and he grabs the chains and puts them back on the table. Here are your items from when you were first admitted to the prison. Your clothes, a dagger, and man, this is a beautiful ruby you have here. And he
Shut up, give it here.
yeah, he lifts it up to the light, and you see an immaculate ruby, and it reflects the room entirely in a red glow as the lights of the candle get reflected through its pristine cuts. And he hands it to Kriss. Well, we have a guard outside. He will escort you to the nearest train station. There you will head to boot camp with the Capital Shard and be sorted from there. Godspeed.
Thanks, see you never.
And so Kriss leaves and is escorted out towards the train station. Next, we head to the forests of Walachi. It is evening now, in a small town, deep within the forest of Walachi. The sun's now dipping below the horizon, with only the amber hues piercing through the leaves that surround us. Within this canopy of the trees, we find another small town in Elation. Novice wizarding hats are thrown into the air, and unauthorized fireworks and prestidigitations erupt from wands as groups of students celebrate their graduation from the local wizarding school, the Ambergris School of the Arcane. Madame Ambergris herself stands at the podium before the crowd with a plastered smile and a watchful eye over the festivities. Students freshly anointed from the ceremony are excitingly exchanging addresses of their future colleges and apprenticeships, discussing what schools of magic they plan on specializing in and how they were going to decorate their dorms. Madame Ambergris steps down from the podium and scans the crowd, but her brow furrows, her smile fades to nothing as she looks for someone. Families swarm the students, proud smiles and a tear here or there from a parent giving tender hugs. As warm ties between family and friends are forged and their new lives are quickly approaching on the horizon. One young woman, determined yet somber, sneaks through the crowd, her hat still on, pulled low over her head to avoid notice. She slips back into the school and heads towards the administrative wing where her room is. She grabs her bags, previously packed, and makes quick pace out of the school and towards the train station. Emily, I would like for you to describe your character. I'm going to summon you to the board.
Yeah. So as Scarlet, so my character is Scarlet Nichols. As she strides determined from the school, she pulls her hat off of her head, revealing her half-elven features. She is darker complected and has sort of like soft features and a stern brow. As she gets farther and farther away from the school, her brown eyes shimmer with gold, with excitement, and the light catches her hair and it gleams red as she gets farther away from the school. When she turns to look back at the school, she stops and she dulls. Like, her smile disappears, her eyes dull, her hair loses its luster, and she's filled with regret in that moment and thinks that maybe she should have said goodbye, but she just shakes her head, continues on, and a little bit more of her brilliance comes back to her.
As she approaches the platform, she hears two sets of boot hitting the pavement behind her, and she turns and sees two young men dressed in the same school uniform as her. The first is Samson Marabone. Sam has a uniquely strong features for a young wizard, a dusky, callous skin that indicates a rugged upbringing. His hair is the inky black of starless nights, and his eyes, though dark and fathomless, are warm. The second is Calcifer Fiore. Cal has smooth skin, sun-kissed, of an easy life, angular features, and electric blue eyes that spark with passion. His hair is a fiery red that fades to almost a translucent white while pointing upwards like countless towers of light leading up to sharp peaks. Samson goes, Scarlet, we were looking for you after the ceremony but couldn't find you anywhere. Why are you all the way out here? And Calcifer goes, yeah, what were you doing?
Sam, Cal, I'm leaving.
Calcifer goes, school doesn't even start for a while. Dorms aren't open. Why would you leave now?
I'm not going to school, Cal. I'm joining the military.
Calcifer's expression drops. Samson goes, wait, why? You're a great wizard. Come to Bacab University in Rochefort with me and Calcifer. We'd be the next greatest 3 wizards.
No, I'm done with this. I'm done with school. I'm done learning someone else's way to wield my magic. I've been specially invited to join and I want to go.
Calcifer screams, it's bullshit. So you're just gonna leave? You could come with us and you won't have to deal with those awful bitches. No more bullies, no more Madame Ambergris keeping you in your room. We can forge our own paths now.
This isn't about Frida and her goons or Ambergris. This is my path, and I have to do this on my own. I can't keep pretending to be something that I'm not forever. Things need to change. I'm not a scholar, but I could be a fighter.
Calcifer goes, so the you that's been our friend isn't really you? Fine, then leave. What do I care? And Samson goes, hey, he doesn't mean that. We just both care a lot about you, and this is a huge decision. The fracturing of the shards is serious. People are dying. You'd be in danger. You could,
I know. But I can't just study while people are out risking their lives. This is bigger than us, and I feel the need to be a part of it. Besides, if anything happened, you'd bring me back, right?
Sam frowns. You know that's not... Takes a second and goes, well, if anyone can take on half the world, it's you. We've all grown a lot since we've started here at the school, but especially you. Despite everything, you've become a really pretty, powerful wizard. I'm sure you'll be just as strong as that hero Red Bear you love in your comics you love so much. Isn't he going through a war, too?
Duh! I know it's just a story, but it feels real. And maybe I won't make a difference with the war, but Red Bear is free, and maybe if I can be like him just a little bit, then maybe I'll feel free too.
Calcifer scoffs and goes, yeah, whatever, nerd. You think that now, but don't come crying to us when boot camp kicks your ass. But, you know, I don't say stuff like this much. He takes a breath and looks you in the eye. But I'm really gonna miss you. Go fuck him up.
So Scarlet, rumbles around in her. She has her backpack. She opens it up and searches for it for a moment. She takes out a pack of cards, and she takes 2 of them out, showing that they are 2 Justicar cards, from a collection of Justicar cards. And she signs her name. She signs her name on the back of them, handing them to the boys. And she's like, "This is a promise. Someday I'll come back and we'll fight alongside each other."
And you hear in the distance a conductor yell, "All aboard!"
Scarlet hugs the boys, and she says, "Don't miss me too much."
Scarlet boards the train, and as the late afternoon sets into evening, and the lights of the station drift further and further away, she can see the 2 figures at the station waving until they completely disappear in the distance. She takes a second and realizes she really is alone now. Well, except for Maisie, her pet rat, who scurries out of her cloak pocket and perches on Scarlet's shoulder. Then, with resolve, she opens her bag and pulls out a letter and reads it silently to herself.
Hello, Miss Nichols. You may not know who I am, but I have had the pleasure of knowing you for quite a while. I do not know if Madame Ambergris ever informed you of, or if she purposefully decided to keep the reality of my involvement from you. When you had your magical incident, so many years ago now, word made its way around. I knew that someone so naturally gifted had every chance to become the world's greatest mage. And I wanted to make sure you had every chance in the world to be able to prove yourself. Thus, I sent a large donation to the school to allow you to have a full-ride scholarship to actually learn at Madame Ambergris' school, instead of just being her ward. You may check her ledger for proof.
You have excelled as a user of the arcane, even more than I could have expected, and I am overjoyed to see you have made it to graduation. Though I do not, nor do I wish to, have power over your decisions of your future, I hope that you might consider one possibility. The world is on the brink of a revolution, Miss Nichols. Low magic crystals have changed everything, and the world of tomorrow will look nothing like the world of today. Unfortunately, in this revolution, a great war is being waged, a war of beliefs and power. With your own prowess, I believe you may be a great pivot that the war needs to forge a great future for those in your generation and the next. To fight for a cause bigger than yourself, I humbly ask that you just consider the possibility. Sincerely, a caring benefactor.
She tucks this letter carefully back into a trifold, meticulously puts it back into its original postmarked envelope, and places it back into her bag. As the train marches forward into the evening, so does her hopes, dreams, and fears of the future.
Also, I love my drawing. It's very cute.
All right. Next, we are going to head to the great farms and fields of Great Hawk. It's later in the day still. The last rays of sun for the day cast long shadows across the ground as it begins to set. Here in the late afternoon, within the great fields of Greytalk, on a lovely family farm, we arrive at the Loubert homestead. Out front are some cows grazing their last meals for the day, a few pigs wallowing in the mud, and many chickens picking at the grubs and insects on the ground. We see a small group of kids running around, a herd many of them. In the front of the barn lays the family's new tractor and the proud owner, tinkering with it. Powered by low magic crystals, it does the work of 100 horses in half the time. A true modern marvel. From inside the house, we hear the sounds of banging pots and pans with a motherly voice shouting, Briar, Rav, Summer, Rain, Acor, and especially you, Yaros. Come in, it's dinner time. You two, Ash, stop fooling with that tractor. The whole family will gather. The whole family gathers around a big warm table full of food. First comes Briar, the eldest son, built like an ox and works on the farm like one too. In tow is Rav, the second son. Quite the troublemaker he is. Next comes the youngest son and daughter, Rain, a young boy who seems to be missing an arm. And Acor, a high-energy run-to-the-litter, comes running in, still technically playing their game of tag from outside. Settle down now and find your seat, you two, says the mother. The father walks up to the table and goes, Meadow, you really did outdo yourself this time. Well, of course. It's Yaros' special day. And speak of the devil, she says as the young man begins to walk down from the stairs. Mark, I would like for you to describe your character.
Yeah. Sorry. Yaros is a shifter, so he looks mostly human, but he has some animalistic features, most notably being his elongated and kind of pointy ears, with also his canine teeth being longer than humans, and yellow eyes with short fur and claws on his hands and forearms. His skin is tan from the years that he's been working outside on the farm, and various, little cuts and scars and bruises from the work. He stands a little taller and leaner than his older brothers, but he carries himself in a way that doesn't hide his strength. His hair and his fur are short and dark, accompanied by similarly trimmed beard across his chin. He's currently wearing simple brown vest and trousers, still stained from the work from earlier that day.
So the father says, Of course, it's Yaros' last day on the old Loubert homestead. Rain then cuts their father off and shouts, Good riddance! His mother reaches over and pops him real hard. Hush now, you don't mean that.
No, Ma, it's alright. He kind of turns to Rain. You know, Rain, you have every right to be angry with me over what's happened, but you know, just please let the others enjoy today. Ma and Summer worked really hard on this, so just not today, please.
You see, after getting popped and hearing that, he kind of minds his P's and Q's. And as Yaros goes to sit, the magnitude of this meal hits him, as he's only seen it once before. And when his brother Rav speaks up and goes, "Man, the only time we had a feast like this was this big was when Plume left." And his father speaks up and goes, "Yes, anytime one of our own makes a decision to leave, it's a time for celebration. I'm just sorry that Plume and Luna aren't here to partake." And the mother goes, "Yes, Luna has been on that annual hunting trip she loves for a while now and couldn't make it back in time, but I'm sure she sends her love. And we did get a letter from Plume. Here, go ahead and read it." And she kind of stands up and goes to the next room on a small desk, grabs the letter and comes back and hands it to Yaros. And the smallest one, Acor, then yells, "Yeah, what does it say?"
Okay, as he kind of unfolds it to read it, Dear Yaros, seems you've made the hard decision to leave the Loubert homestead. I know you're going to do great. It's a big world out there, and you'll adventure through it like Dad once did. Even here in Rougeford, I've seen many incredible things. One day, I'll return and show you all the wonderful music I've mastered with Mom's violin here at the Conservatory of the Arts. Just please do take care of yourself. The military can be harsh, even to the best of folk. Love, Plume.
Rav then speaks up and goes, "Yeah, and I'll be the next one. Once I get the money saved up, it's to the high seas with me." And the mother shakes her head. Goes, "I really wish that you guys would just live here and settle into a nice farm like your father and I. It's just so dangerous out there. There's so much work to be done here." And the father then says, "Now, dear, that's the life you and me chose. I don't want to make our kids live out this life just because of decisions we made years ago. Plus, it's not like the old days. Low magic crystals have really changed everything. We don't need a whole litter to run the farm anymore. We got tractors," and the mother cuts him off. Yes, I know, the tractors." And Briar, the oldest son, says so. He goes, "Bless Mom, I don't plan on going anywhere. I'm going to help you guys to the end, and when you get of age, I'll take over the namestick of the old Loubert homestead. I like it here." Mother goes, "Yes, but I just can't help but worry."
It'll be alright. I mean, selfishly, yeah. I want to go see the world outside the homestead like Dad did, but you and Dad raised us to do the right thing, and to me the right thing is to do what I can to make y'all's lives easier and safer. I know Dad's a little obsessed with the new tractor, but he really should be. I mean, it's gonna let y'all have a longer and more enjoyable life, and that's not just for us. I mean, who knows how many people out there this could be helping.
Dad then says, "Well, plus I gotta say, I can't be helped but be proud of Yaros. Have a son follow in my old footsteps. When I was his age, I was training every day to be part of Heroes and Heralds. And I went on many grand adventures before I settled down here. In fact, Yaros, I'd like to give you something." And he reaches into his pocket and hands you a necklace. Yaros puts it on and looks at it pretty intently. And you see this is a very old heirloom of the family, passed down from generation to generation. It's an old piece of jewelry. It has a well-worn leather strap that rests comfortably on your neck. At the bottom's a little metal charm. Painted by time, it appears to be an eye with a bow in the foreground. And this piece has been obviously well-loved.
Thanks. As Yaros kind of turns it to look at it in different lights to get a good look at the design of it. And, well, what does it mean? I haven't seen anything like this.
"Well, son, it's a necklace of our people, the Swift Rider. When you are in danger, hold it close, and you will become the person you need to be."
I don't know what to say. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down.
"I know you won't, son. Let's eat." And so the feast goes on as everyone stuffs themselves with a home-cooked meal that only love could produce. They tell stories jabbing at Yaros, as well as his triumphs and his follies. And after a while, the mother speaks up and goes, "Well, your big day is tomorrow, and you need to be well rested. I'll take care of the table. You go ahead and head upstairs."
Well, everybody, I guess this is the last good night. I mean, at least for a while. He kind of takes a moment to take a look at his family. I'm gonna miss y'all. And he advances kind of quickly over towards Rain. I'm gonna make it up to y'all one day.
Yeah, as he begins to walk up the stairs, his father kind of jogs up and catches him on the shoulder and says, "Hey, bud, come meet me outside in a bit." Yaros nods and goes upstairs and packs the last of his things, make sure he has everything he needs, then heads outside. It's later in the evening now, and his dad's over by the tractor. So Yaros arrives and his dad's kind of waiting for him.
Hey, Dad, everything all right? You need to see me about something?
Yeah, sure did. Come climb on top of the barn with me. And you guys use the tractor to climb up to the top of the barn where many childhood adventures were had. And he lays down and says, "Come join me, son."
All right.
Tonight's a new moon. On nights like these, when the moon's away, you can see the stars even more clearly. When I was a young adventurer like you, I used to use the stars to guide me to wander far from home, just as those same stars do today.
I mean, you taught me all about stars all my life and what they're saying when everything's quiet. As Yaros kind of turns to look at the sky, they do seem even more beautiful tonight.
Yeah, they really are. How about we just lay out here for a while, son, and watch them for a while?
Sure thing, Dad. Sounds perfect.
Yaros, clutching this new heirloom on his chest, and his father share a tender moment and continue to look up at the sky for a while. Bright blue streaks of shooting stars make their way across the earth like beacons to all of those watching. The sun begins to make its final rest, and the stars begin to shine even more brightly without the light of the moon. Next, we are going to head to the jungles of Apramia. The sun is now far below the horizon. The amber hues of sunset have shifted into the darker violet tones. Here we find ourselves deep within the massive jungles of the Apramia expanse. The trees here tower above the land, and if not kept, the underbrush would become impassable. Strange cries and roars from creatures not found elsewhere find home amongst the equally alien vegetation. Here in those treetops, the druids of the land, the Aknali, reside. As the light of the sun fades, the tribesmen and women find comfort in their homes, hanging high within the trees. Mothers and fathers tell tales of the land and the beasts to their young as they are put to bed and slumber into dreams during the night. Yet it is not peaceful in every home. Upon the chief's own residence brews turmoil. It grows in volumes until even the neighboring homes hear of the outrage. Connor, I would like for you to describe your character.
Yo, that art is sick. Sorry.
Don't be sorry, it's
yeah.
sick, bro.
So, to the untrained eye, you would see what appears to be a human female in her early 20s, but a little closer inspection would reveal her to be a Kalashtar, a subspecies of human. And here you see Veiyanitara, a Kalashtar with long raven black hair, goes past her shoulders, with purplish blue eyes, and wearing what looks to be simple black tunics and slats made of hides from various different animals and feathers from owlbears and other different assortments. A very by the land, of the land sort of look to her.
I will say, Connor, you have a little bit of a robot voice, but that's, I'm pretty sure, because you're in a place you don't usually go. So, to the people listening, that's not intentional robot voice.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. It'll be fixed next time. I'm just letting the people listening know.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not a robot druid. That's the Starfinder
I'm
game.
not a robot. I'm not a
Yeah.
Warforged. I promise.
So here within the tops of the trees where the residents go, the matriarch of the home, Levana, goes, "No daughter of mine is going out to be a military dog for the United Shard, and that is final."
Mother, you have to understand. This is important. I connected to my quarry, and it showed me something, a vision. Something's going to happen. I'm the only one that knows about it. They need to know.
And the father goes, "Look, daughter, you've only recently gotten your quarry. Shouldn't you be staying here to train with it, to learn and become one as the Kalashar way?"
Yes, I know I should be training with it, but... I mean, I haven't connected with him in so long, and suddenly he comes to me, and he gives me this warning. I feel like he's guiding me. This could be my chance, my test, my trial. I read in the old scrolls that druids like me that study the stars, they have powers of divination. What if this is that?
The father says, "The people who fight this war brought this upon themselves. The wise know that high magic is the only way that will bring longevity. This low magic is a problem brought on upon themselves. It is not our problem."
Oh, you keep talking about this war. I don't... It's bigger than the war. This thing, it'll affect them, it'll affect us, it'll affect the rest of the continent. It's bigger than this war. If nothing's done, then everyone, everywhere will suffer. And who knows what will happen. I'm telling you, this vision, it was grave.
The mother interjects and goes, "Do you understand how we got here? Not everyone, including myself, wanted to join. We only did it to keep ourselves at peace. When the many tribes of Apramia got together in Imbaroon, nobody wanted to be a part of this. Being on the side of the mountains, we gave them a few bits of land. In exchange, they would leave us alone. We would not be soldiers, and we would not fight in their war. Other tribes felt hate so strong, they fought to the death. Too many lives have resulted in bloodstains upon our land. There has already been slaughter."
Mother, please. I know about what low magic is. I share the sentiments. I do not like low magic either. But that does not mean that they deserve to die.
She raises her voice and says, "I said no, and that is final. Go to sleep. Valkayan, we will deal with her fantasies in the morning."
But Mother,
She turns around and begins to climb up to her room. The father again, walks up slowly and goes, "I love you, and I know you feel like you have your reasons, but one day you will understand. Our people need you here now more than ever. We'll talk about it tomorrow once your mother cools down, alright?" He comes in and gives you a big warm hug and a little kiss on the forehead. "I gotta go tend to Levana, but she's right. I love you, daughter." And he climbs up to meet with her as well.
I love you too, Father, as he walks away. As soon as he's out of earshot, Veiyanitara will go, "I love you both, and for what I'm about to do. I truly am sorry. I can't stay here." And Veyani goes back to her room and grabs a bat that she had hidden away beneath her bed with a walking stick and proceeds to climb out of the window in her room on a vine.
Yeah, she climbs down as quietly as she can, and then she marches down the river until she reaches another family tree, where she climbs up to the first story. Boop, boop, boop. Let me pull your...
Yeah.
There we go.
Numaloth, are you there? Numaloth.
There it goes.
Numi.
Oh, yeah, come on in.
I'm gonna hop up on the ladder he has and crawl into his room.
Yeah, he hops in as she has many times before. And he goes, "Are you here for another one of your late night chats? Seems like we don't have those as often now that you don't worry about not getting your quarry anymore."
No, Numi, not this time. I'm afraid that this one's a little bit more serious. I'm afraid I'm here to say goodbye.
Wow. You really are going through with it, huh?
Yes. I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to do this. My quarry finally came to me years later, and the first thing I feel is this sense of dread, this vision. I don't think it's coincidence. I think it has to be a sign.
He takes a deep breath and he goes, "Can't say I'm surprised. How'd the folks take it?"
Kind of stops. They took it about as awful as they could. They want to talk about it in the morning.
Well, you always were a little different than the others here. He kind of grabs your shoulder. I don't think anyone else here would be caught dead near the military.
I know, I'm so... It goes against everything I've been taught. My whole life, I thought I would go here and learn my circle and grow up and follow the upper mere ways, but now I'm given this vision. I'm worried, Numi. I can't help but worry. Is this right? Am I doing the right thing? Did I see something wrong? Is this what my Tori wants? I don't know. As you see, like, this wave of confusion and just melancholy on her face.
Yeah, he kind of leans back onto the tree trunk for a second and goes, "It's truly insane. Our people fought to not be a part of this. Many died in that rebellion." And he takes another... But you always were different from the others. And you see that he stands straight up and patches his head back and takes a breath and focuses for a second. And then he kind of comes... It seems like he comes back to and goes, "My quarry tells me, in my soul, that you are doing something bigger than yourself, or of this tribe. Something I myself can't comprehend. But I trusted that one day you'd get your quarry, and I guess now I gotta trust that you're doing the right thing."
Numi, She takes a long pause, and just quietly, reservedly, "Thank you, Numala. You always know the right thing to say."
Yeah, and she leans
Go over and give him a big hug.
Yeah, he kind of gets startled by the hug for a second, and then kind of wraps around and gives a real warm embrace.
I have to go now, Numala. But, as she takes her right arm, makes a fist, and holds it over her heart, "But I will hold you and this tribe in my heart. I know it will give me strength. You be careful while I'm gone. Don't get to any more owlbear nest."
He laughs and goes, "Well, I think I'm the one who has to worry about you. Make sure you and your quarry make it back safe to this tribe now. Otherwise, we'll have to hear about it from your mom."
Veiyanitara lets out a little chuckle and she goes, "Thank you again, Numala. You be safe." And as Veiyanni starts climbing over the window, she stops and turns around and she goes, "Numi, do be safe. I don't know what I would do if something happened to you while I'm gone. But I have to go. Please be careful."
And he looks back. He looks back, gives an involuntary smile, and just kind of nods.
After climbing down the ladder, Veiyanni then walks towards a riverbank a few hundred feet away, occasionally looking back at the various tree houses that dot the landscape of this swamp, of this forest. Eventually, whenever she gets there, she goes over to a little enclosure she found, where she hid away a small boat, and Veiyanni climbs into the boat.
Yeah, she sets sail, and once her village is out of eyeshot, she begins to rest. The night is dark. There's no moon above, as only the light of the stars in the sky are above. And these blue streaks of shooting stars dashing across the sky. As her body... let's do this. There we go. As her body begins to relax, and when most people would dream, she begins to make a connection to another. Her mind races with images and sounds that are not her own. Everything's hazy. Nothing makes sense. And not in the way that dreams are often bizarre and the logic doesn't make sense, but in a way that everything is obscured and hidden. And in this fog, she hears a voice. Veiyanitara Lero.
In a very, like, sleepy, distorted voice, you hear Veiyanni. Who are you?
You know who I am, but I do not know who I am. Together, we will discover the truth.
Are you my quarry? Your vision. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm making the right choice.
You are doing what must be done.
But I'm afraid. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I can do it. What if it's too late? What if it took too long?
You are the one. It has been foretold in the stars.
I don't know you. I just connected to you only a few days ago, and my druidic abilities are weak currently. Can I do this alone? I don't...
You are not alone. You are but one of many who must end this.
What am I ending? What am I doing?
When the land circles the sun, a great blue light cast away from the stars will come to be. You and your circle must dim the light to darkness.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
When the land circles the sun, a great blue light cast away from the stars will come to be. You and your circle must dim the light to darkness.
I don't understand. I'm confused. What if I can't do this? What happens? What if I fail?
When the land circles the sun, a great blue light cast away from the stars will come to be. You and your circle must dim the light to darkness. And Veiyanitara's mind becomes even hazier of a fog, and these turbulent clouds, her mind, and everything becomes incomprehensible again, opaque to the truth. The sun has surrendered. The night has overtaken the day. The lives of these 6 people have ended. Tomorrow, a new day dawns. The sun will rise, and a new life will begin. With this concluded, we're going to go ahead and take a tavern break. Everybody, please go grab another drink, break your seal, come back. At first, I would like to mention that I know that my players in Discord are dying to talk about what's happened here. All their thoughts and ideas of what brought them here, what their ideas with their characters, what they hope will happen, how they feel about me. And like after every show, we have tavern therapy, and that's when we're gonna break that seal and have everybody gush about what's happened today. So I invite everybody here to stay at the end of the game to do that. And also before break, I'll take a second to shill. Oops, there we go. If you're enjoying what you're seeing on Twitch, want to follow, you can hit the follow button. We go every other Tuesday at 6:30. You can watch all the VODs on YouTube, follow on Twitter, and if you like any of the lore, you can check it out on World Anvil. With that, I am going to go take a break, and we'll be back very shortly. And we're back. I would like everybody to gush to Colin, because he wasn't there for most of the break. Colin's the one who drew all the reactive images.
Colin, I love you.
Are
Hey,
amazing.
Beautiful.
Colin,
Colin, I
Little
love
kids,
how
but good.
I love how like simplistic it is. I love how effective it is. I love everything about it.
Colin,
Thanks.
everyone in chat, repeat after me. Colin is throat goat.
Colin is throat goat.
Oh my god! Hell no!
All right. Well, with the last sip of this old fashioned, we're gonna get going back again.
Charles, I didn't hear you say that.
Charles, come on.
Come on,
I
don't.
didn't.
Come on.
I'm not about to say throat goat, bro. It's not happening.
I think you've said Colin is and throat goat enough times that I can splice something together in post.
Yes.
Okay, good, yeah.
Good.
That's
All right.
the answer.
Damn it.
The day is March 16th in the year of Paylor, 765. You have all put your previous lives to rest, and with the rise of the sun sets a new life. You're all traveling throughout the day in various states of riding on trains, waiting for departures at stations. For those of you who did not formally do so yet, you arrive at a military recruitment center, finish crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and once completed, it's more travel by train through bureaucracy. None of it makes sense to a layperson. Half the time you're heading in the opposite direction from your destination. It's the sort of travel that only makes sense on a spreadsheet. You're all sustained through water and military-issued bread. The day is long. The day is uneventful. You will not reach your destination today. The sun once again sets as you travel further from the life you had, and you all reflect on those you left behind and what awaits you in your future. The sun once again rises with a new day, and you are informed that you are on the last leg of your journey, each starting from different places in life and geography, but will share the same destination, boot camp. It's where they break in new soldiers and sort the true heroes from the grunts. What happens here will determine your future, and on this day, March 17th, in the year of Paylor 765, your fates will intertwine as you take the first steps towards your new shared lives. Let's go here. The sun hangs high in the sky, as do the hopes of all the new soldiers. The train perpetually marching forward, as does the determination of those aboard. And a large train car towards the front of the train boards a single man covered in cloaks. Here we go. And as the man walks in, the conductor goes, "All right, Mr. Brand, I'll take the ticket, and you go ahead and find any seat you like."
Fine.
And you can just move your token to wherever you'd like to sit.
Remind me how to center on my token.
You can click the portrait on the left. That's usually the easiest way to do
Oh,
it.
it just
Yeah.
popped up. Okay. Sweet. Okay.
Go find a seat. And from here, you guys can interject and roleplay in whichever ways you wish.
Should I remain in the front car? Or does
Yes,
that
stay in this car, but you can
Okay.
be wherever you want. Next station down, the train comes to a slow halt. And for everybody, once I bring in your tokens, you can click on your name on the left. It should bring you to your token. And the conductor goes, "All right,
Yeah.
Path."
Sorry, Tyler, real quick. I don't see myself as a player on
You're
this
not
card.
yet. I'm
Okay.
adding one at a time.
Okay.
All right, Tatho Wildheart. I'll take your ticket. You can take any seat you like.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, and so you will kind of walk through the train and you see a man covered in cloaks on the outside portion of the train.
Outside the train.
Like it's basically a little balcony part where you can sit. The day is nice. The breeze is cool. You're heading towards the grasslands of the capital shard, which is where you're from.
Yeah. So I'll just sit, like, I guess, like, if I can place it
Yeah.
new to TaleSpire. I think it's like right there.
Yeah, sure. So you want to be on a different table from Bran?
Yeah. Different table, just
Okay.
basically just looking outside, having just the train just whisk by, hair, air flowing through the hair, just looking good.
Great.
Happy just to be on this next journey in life.
Yeah, you see Tatho. He is a Leonin, so he has a big mane of hair kind of blowing in the back as he kind of looks out the train. And if y'all two don't say each other, then you politely kind of just avoid gazes and sit on your own.
Oh, he's standing right there. I had to turn it. My bad. I do look at him and just give him like a head, like a nod, acknowledging his existence.
Okay.
Like I'm not an asshole by any means. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna give him his acknowledgement.
Yep. Brand nods.
All right. So y'all travel for a ways, and then the train comes to its next stop. Kriss Keeton, I was warned about you. No funny business, you hear? And he takes your
I hope
ticket.
it was all good things that you were warned about.
Uh,
That's a joke. I'm getting on the train.
all right.
Please leave me alone.
I can do that. Go find your seat.
Thanks. And she makes a rude gesture at the escort.
Oh my.
Yeah, the escort at this point, like, basically drops you off as the conductor kind of takes his technical position. And yeah, you're free to walk around the train and mingle with anybody you like.
She's gonna walk past the balcony, look out, and then just duck back inside and keep walking to the next balcony, which might be less crowded.
Okay, so you're just gonna go to the outside portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not, you can't leave the cart, but I'll put you like out here, in the back, kind of by yourself. Okay, the familiar.
She's brooding.
Looking majestic.
The familiar stop and go of this vessel occurs again. Yaros Loubert, man, you're young. Take care of yourself, young man. As he takes your ticket, have any seat you like.
Oh, I appreciate it. And he's gonna kind of start just looking around. He's gonna make his way out to the balcony just because he's used to being outside anyway. He's gonna walk out. He's gonna see the two. Oh, hey! Glad to see that I'm not the only person here. I was afraid I was gonna get kind of lonely.
Oh well, pleasure to see you as well.
He's gonna kind of nod to Tatho because he responded, and he's just gonna kind of watch out as the train starts moving because he's never been on a train before, so he's kind of enamored with the whole process.
Once these pleasantries kind of go and there's a little bit of a silence as you enjoy the day, the train slows as it approaches yet another station. Scarlet Nichols, now don't let any of these boys do anything funny. Let me know if I gotta throw them off this train, though you look strong enough you could do it yourself. Don't miss, take any seat you like.
Thanks.
And you're free to run me about the train in any way you like.
Oh, okay. Okay, there she is.
Yeah, like I said, you can click on the portrait on the left that has your name and the token, and it should zoom you directly to that token.
Okay. She is going to, well, I guess she's supposed to be sitting down reading her letter to herself, huh? So she's gonna sit down next to a window inside and read to herself for a little bit with her mouse.
Okay. So you kind of take a seat on the interior part of the train. Y'all ride for quite a while now. Everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's, being contemplative, and the train slows as it approaches another station. Can I place it? There it goes. Veiyanitara Lero, I don't see many folks like you, miss, but I wish you the best. Take any seat you like.
Yes, thank you. I don't see my name on the left.
You should be at the very bottom, according to me.
Yeah, no, it's not there for me. That's
You are on the second train. You're on the cab directly behind the engine.
My cab set directly behind the engine. Yeah, I don't.
They
Seems
also
like-
cannot see her token right now.
Yeah, I don't have a player list on the my name is not on the player list on the left.
That's a TaleSpire issue then. You want to relaunch real quick?
Yeah, let me relaunch.
Cool. No problem. Yeah, so you just disappeared.
But
Yeah.
Veiyanitara will most likely try to find, being never on a machine like this before, she'll probably try to find something out in the open.
Cool.
Going to the first balcony, see that there's a lot of people, maybe not do that, but maybe if there's another open spot, maybe only one other person there, she could probably.
So as you pass, you see a young woman with her back turned to you, reading a letter kind of intently. And as you pass on your left, you see an opening with three men, all kind of stoically standing. And you decide, maybe I'll go somewhere a little less crowded. And you head to the back of the train, where you see another young woman covered in cloaks, out here kind of brooding by herself.
I'm going to walk, and then kind of as soon as I get in the doorway, dip up to the side that she's not on.
Okay.
And then just kind of lean over the rail, and instead of brooding, Veiyanitara will contemplate.
Which looks completely different.
Yeah.
It looks very different.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Good.
You have a more relaxed facial expression when you're contemplating.
Yeah.
it says I am waiting on GM.
Oh yeah, I probably need something new.
Poggy Champers.
Okay, I see your player. You should have a token.
I see it now
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, this is your TaleSpire issue. All right. So yeah, you have all entered the train. You all kind of found your own little quiet corners, and you're all thinking about the life that you're now about to live and the big changes that are ahead.
After a little bit, Kriss is gonna turn around
Okay.
and say, "Hey, there's a limitation in the number of people that should be out here, right? I think it's a fire code
What a-
thing. I think
What a
it's-
bitch!
What a
Ninja.
what a bitch!
I can't help
What
it.
a bitch!
I
That
can't
was
help it.
great. Oh man.
I think it's the fire code thing.
Oh my god.
I don't see any fire here. I don't.
Oh well, I mean, if you just go talk to the conductor, I'm sure he can clear things up.
God.
It's okay. I'll just.
Ooh.
She tries to go to the next car, and when she attempts to open the door, it's locked.
Jesus
So she
What
just
in the-
sits there shaking it for a second, and then turns around.
Do you need help with something?
No, I'm fine. It's just
Do these things, these and with a little bit of distrust in her voice, machines, do they catch fire off?
She's still shaking. She turns around to shake the door one more time, hoping it comes open. Oh, no. They don't catch on fire often. This is all reliable tech. You've never been on a train before?
No, I'm afraid they do not speak to my sensibilities.
Oh, what kind of sensibilities are those?
Trying to improv something, Veiyanitara will say, there just not a lot of them where I'm from.
Oh, cool. Good talk. Well, I'll see you.
Jesus Christ.
She's just gonna head inside.
All right. So you head inside, presumably to where nobody is. You kind of go and stand over here to yourself, opposite of Scarlet. And
She's gonna sit in the corner, facing Scarlet, because she's like, oh, this is probably a person that's just going to read and mind their own business.
yeah.
Scarlet is done reading now and looks up.
Oh,
No.
Thank you for untrapping me
Yeah.
from the corner.
Yeah, I saw you on the struggle bus.
She makes eye contact with you, and her eyes sort of sparkle silver for a moment. and then she like kind of waves a little bit, like, oh my gosh, new friend. But she doesn't say anything, she just waves.
She pulls down her hood and waves back.
Wait. It's a lot of mix. Okay, since you waved back, Scarlet's gonna get up and get closer.
She kind of blinks hard, like I've made a mistake, but it's too late, and I'm trapped in a corner now.
It's too late. Scarlet
Too late.
sits,
You will
sits
have a
across
friend.
from you. She's like, this is my first time on a train. We're just supposed to sit, right? I see people walking around, but we're just supposed to sit, right?
You can do whatever you want on the train, really. I mean, nobody's gonna stop you. I mean, somebody might, but
Oh, cool. Scarlet takes a mouse out of her pocket, puts it on the table, and puts some little scraps on the table for her mouse to eat. She says, "This is Maisie."
hi, Maisie. That's
Maisie. Go ahead.
that's a nice rat you've got there.
Oh, she's not a rat. She's a mouse. But
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you. She is a nice mouse, and she sort of like scritches Maisie's head. So, where are you going?
I'm going to the military. She like jazz hands.
Really?
Sounds super unenthusiastic. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah, it's
Wow, we have so much in common.
we have so much in common now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we have so much in common now.
Okay, hear me out. Why are all the female characters being total bitches to each other? This
I'm
is,
not being a bitch. I'm being very nice.
I thought you were toying with them.
I literally
Or with
don't
her.
understand the concept of law.
Mood.
All right, continue on. Had to break the pressure seal there.
No, I mean Scarlet. I don't think Scarlet's been. I mean.
Okay, so
Scarlet
she's not being
hasn't been on a
facetious in
train
any
before.
way.
No,
No,
okay.
she
she's
really hasn't.
earnest.
Okay.
I mean, she's lived in the school her whole life. I mean, she would have traveled when she was really little, I assume, but that would have been it. Scarlet, I guess Scarlet's just gonna randomly say that. She's gonna be like, I lived in a school. She's feeling real nervous now.
I'm in the school.
In a school. She's like, I don't really have any friends. Well, I know I do have friends, just not here, going to where I'm going next, and I'm nervous.
I can tell. That's okay. It's she's like clearly confused. Trying to
Corner
she's like
view, 'cause
too
I'm
confused to be facetious anymore.
excellent. Startled her.
I was I mean, I grew up in a convent basically, so schools are cool.
that-
I'm sure you can make new friends.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So you guys continue with the small talk for a little bit longer,
Yeah.
and
Like,
yeah, I'll take control.
okay, good. Thank God.
I just need you to wallow in that for a bit.
Excellent.
And you, day draws on, you have the small conversations, and you feel the overall anxiousness in the air from each other, unsure of kind of what's to come, and knowing that you're quickly approaching the unknown becomes the forbearing thought in your mind. And finally, you hear the conductor yell, "Final stop, Sanchez Keep. Please grab your belongings and one by one head off the platform. From there, you will follow the soldiers to your quarters in a single file line." And map change.
Thank God.
For the map change, or I'm trying real hard here, bro.
Oh
You need
no.
to single me out like that.
I'm trying real hard here,
Give him
bro.
a minute.
The character.
I know. I just have to be the worst, otherwise I'm not a DM.
Literally shaking and crying.
I have to make everybody suffer as much as me. Please do not move from these original positions I'm putting you in.
10-4.
Thank you. Will not move because I don't know what the fuck's happening.
immediately flings myself off the table.
Alright.
Wait, you can do that?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so
I
Sure, the
found a
knock
way,
comes and you
actually.
can
It's pretty
crash it and
impressive.
do it.
I'm not telling you how.
you all step off the
Let 'em trust
platform and arrive at Sanchez Keep. It is a stone fortification
Nice.
on the Sanchez River. A powerful river that is the bloodline for this part of the continent. Countless goods and services travel down the river, and you even see a steamboat traveling by as you arrive. Let me pull up the world map for viewers for a second. So they're going to be right north of Rockvault. It's a little bit of a walk from the train station. You follow the soldiers leading you towards this large stone encampment. You get a glance of the other new enlistees as they step off of the other carts that were on this train. They come in all shapes and sizes from all walks of life. They're half-orc behemoths and tiny halfling mages. Some seem very similar to yourselves. Others, you understand immediately, are much more powerful than you. Low magic crystals have indeed meant that individuals like the 6 of you can just be strapped down and put on the front lines and be effective. However, we still use powerful warriors, mages, and healers, and you immediately understand the difference. These people will not be grunts. They will be heroes. After putting your things down in the quarters, you're immediately pushed out into the yard. Along the perimeter... Let me get a good shot here. There you go. Along the perimeter of the wall are guards keeping watch. Some are here to observe and record results as they carry tablets with writing utensils. Others are here to stop any issues. Along the back wall are placed many dummies as well as swords, bows, and arrows in front of them. What appears to be wizard students, as determined by their cloaks, are standing tables opposite to the dummies. These cards lead you out and say, "Please line up with the targets in the back. Sergeant will be down shortly." You line up, and nothing really happens for a few minutes, and some recruits start talking with each other. Would you guys like to say or do anything in this moment?
Veiyanitara would like to find whoever looks like they're the most important person in the yard.
No jail rules.
So you go to turn around and you see like a kind of, there was 2 sets of guards. One of them left to go grab someone, and there's another one still there. And you turn around, start walking. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Get back in line."
I'm sorry. I just had a question. I was looking for where to speak with the druid of the army.
Well, after today, if you do good enough, you'll talk to everyone in the shard. I'll tell you that. But we got to get through today first.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure I was in the right place.
Today will determine where you go and what you do. So show me your druid. You go hang out with the druids.
Okay, thank you. Very quickly turns back, gets back to the spot, and kind of peeks over, sees if anyone else is doing anything.
Yeah, so there's still a few more moments before someone wants to go fetch someone, so there's some moments and there's some small chatter. Do any of y'all do or say anything else?
Out of curiosity, are druids common in the world that we're in?
So druids in this world are the native people of the lands. That's what classifies them basically as druids. Every shard has druids. They have been placed well with society. They have their own lands and they're pretty well respected. You know that the majority of druids reside in Apramia Expanse, which is the jungles, and they kind of have their own lands there. But like they have nomadic druids that live within the farmlands of the Great Hawk. There are other nomads in the Shadowed Canyon that go and chase prey across the prairies, the grasslands as well. So there's groups of druids kind of everywhere. They're not foreign to you, but they keep to their own. They don't generally...
Would it be a bit strange for a druid to be in the military?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Druids come in such a wide variety that they're not a single unit.
Okay.
Outside of Apramia, they kind of all came together because they had their own lands that they had to do something politically with. So it's not the strangest thing to see a druid, but it's certainly not the norm. Most of them would want to keep to them damn selves and not interfere with anything, right? Like, They are. If you see a druid, they are the PC of their own story, as a shortcut. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes total
Okay.
sense when you said that.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So does anybody else do or say anything? Any questions?
Am I supposed to be standing with the wizards?
Nope.
Are the wizards grouped up? Nope. I'm
They
standing.
they told everybody to get in line with one of the dummies. So
Okay.
everybody's pretty much equal distant, laid out, waiting for instructions.
Scarlet.
Scarlet, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Emily.
I was gonna lean over to KK since she happens to be standing next to me.
Yeah, and you're in the order that you see here,
And-
just by chance.
Yeah, and she's gonna be like, I guess we're gonna start shooting dummies, huh? Do you think we could just do that now, or we should wait, huh? Does KK not say anything?
She's kind of staring at her for a second, trying to like, you can see the gears turning, the trigonometry floating in the foreground. She's like,
Yeah, I bet you could shoot some stuff. Go ahead, do it.
she just immediately shoots at the target with her crossbow.
Hey, what are you doing? And you see one of the guards comes and goes, "Hey, none of that. All right? You will wait till the trials start."
I'm sorry, I didn't know when we were starting things. I was just asking questions.
Y'all were told to wait, and you will be given instructions.
Sorry, I thought she was, she asked me like I was supposed to be shooting or something. I was kind of zoned out there.
Do me a favor and roll a ranged attack to see if it hit, just by chance.
Man.
20.
Nat 20, let's go.
Also, first roll of the campaign.
First roll of the
superiority.
campaign.
First roll of the campaign coming in fresh. Better be good.
Nat
It's
1.
perfectly average.
Nat 1.
In the middle.
You hit it, but you don't hit it dead on. You hit like a shoulder. And he goes, "Wait for instruction. I will not say it again."
Okay.
All right, it's
Sorry.
it was my fault. That's my bad.
The guard will slowly walk back to his station.
Scarlet mouths sorry to KK.
She sighs. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Brand, you were gonna do or say something earlier?
I was just gonna start talking to KK also.
You should do it.
Oh, was that you on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, just so everybody's familiar with each other's tokens. While looking at the dummies from left to right, it's Colton playing Bran. It's Colin playing Kriss. It's Emily playing Scarlet, and then it's Charles playing Tatho, Connor playing Veiyanitara, and then and Mark playing Yaros. So that's it. So yeah, Brand kind of speaks up and talks to Kriss as well.
So he's gonna talk to both of the two next to him. So what brings you two to the world's most organized prison?
I wouldn't call it a prison.
No, this is much better than prison.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Definitely better than being locked in a room your whole life.
Wait, you've
Better
been in
than
prison? Are you here through the conscript program too?
that. Oh no, I was. I lived in a school, and I didn't get out very much. Was locked in my room for a couple of years, which I realize now isn't that normal. I say realize now, it isn't that normal. I feel like I'm spiraling now. And she goes quiet. She goes,
Alright, you want something to ease your worries?
what does that mean?
Is this going to be a distraction? I'm worried.
Brand opens his satchel and starts digging around, and he pulls out a large vial, and it's got it's a green liquid and a scorpion fermenting inside of it. And he walks over
Absolutely not.
as discreetly as
Absolutely not.
All right, my name is Sergeant Drake, and you're the saddest sack of shit I've ever had the displeasure of looking at in my life. Run till you drop.
Excellent.
As this,
Okay.
you see this
Scarlet
heavily,
starts running away.
you see this heavily armored dwarf in the back, finally walks in, and you see every other person here along this track just start running.
Yep.
All right.
KK also run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running away
Yeah.
from.
I assume everybody will run in file, unless otherwise
Yeah.
stated.
Yeah.
Brand shrugs, shoots the vial, and then
Jesus.
starts running with the group.
Yeah.
This is the track, right?
Yeah.
Around
So,
the side?
well,
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna move all these tokens, but
okay.
uh,
All right.
yeah.
we'll theater the mind that because there's so many. You guys will not be rolling for any of this, but instead I will be taking the interpretations of your character sheets. Feel free to get small quips in, but a lot of this is kind of cutscene. You see that some of the first hour of the pack, there's some halflings who just collapse after a couple laps. Though not far behind them goes Scarlet and Kriss.
Yeah.
And you hear Sergeant, pathetic! Followed shortly after Brand drops out. They really mean run till you drop. Next goes Brand, and then Yaros and Vi. And he goes, y'all are sorry! Tatho does make it quite a few laps more than the rest of you guys until he finally falls. They don't really say anything to him, but as Tatho gives everything he has, he looks up and sees a few individuals. They are in full plate armor, and they have lapped him twice.
Jesus.
And they are not short of breath.
And they're also very dehydrated. 'Cause they've
The
been-
soldiers to the side you see them just start writing down notes. And these people don't even finish. And then the sergeant chimes up and goes, now, we will be attesting your abilities with a weapon. Grab that sword, kill that target, go! And you all kind of shuffle up and run, and everybody kind of grabs the appointed sword near them and runs up to the target. I'll move you through these. I'm one target off, but that's fine.
Why are these swords so long?
Yeah, they're long swords. You all stand from rest and run to the swords, pick it up, run to the dummies, and just start striking at it. Brand, go ahead.
Could I set the dummy on fire instead?
Don't ask me. What are you doing?
I want to set the dummy on fire.
Are you?
I would, yeah.
Tell me. Don't ask me.
Scarlet's gonna pick up the weapon and just shoot a fireball at the dummy.
What the hell are you doing? I said hit it. Kill it with the sword. No, ma'am.
Why? Why do I need? Why would I?
Are you giving me lip?
Oh my god.
Get
No,
the
I think she's
sword.
giving
Hit
you
the
fire.
target.
I'm giving
Shut
you
up!
fire.
Shut up! Just hit it!
The target.
What?
I'm
No,
killing
she makes
the
a
target.
strong point.
He-
But
He looks over to one of the wizarding students to the side and casts a spell that affects y'all in real life, and nobody hears anything from them. You see them mouthing and going, and just nothing comes out. He goes, pick up that sword and hit that dummy. I'm guessing they all look to protest for a little bit, pick up the swords, and start at it. Brand, Scarlet, Yaros, and Vi, you begin bashing against the dummy, but you don't seem to have the strength of training to do what others are doing other than just beating it with a sword. And by this time, the spell wears off.
Was this a wisdom saving throw spell by chance? I'm sorry. I'm just asking.
You didn't get hit with it.
Restate. Oh, I didn't? Okay, never
No,
mind.
it was just the 3.
Cool.
Okay, I have undone the spell in real life. Kriss, you know you don't have the strength to slash. However, you can parse how this dummy's made, and you being crafty, you manage to at least jab your sword into the seams and unravel it a little bit. Tatho, you hit this with everything you got, and each stroke you slowly start carving into it. After about a dozen strikes, you have carved straight through it. Though as you make your final swing, you kind of look up in triumph. You look to your left, and you look to your right, and you see individuals who have cleaved through theirs in a single strike, with the top portion landing away from the bottom board, waiting for everybody to finish. And at this time, the drill sergeant screams, "What are you doing? Your fellow soldiers have fallen! Bring them back! Heal them!" And
With what?
Wait, what?
you look to your left and you look to the right, and people are grabbing the top parts of the dummy, and by whatever means they know how, are trying to tend to it. So, confused, you, Tatho, Kriss, Yaros, and Scarlet, not knowing really what to do. You all kind of give it a weird version of mouth to mouth or chest compressions. Although you never actually learned how to do it.
Hey, can I actually do something? Yeah, you go first.
All right, KK, when he says they're dying, you need to help them, she kind of like lays it down like she's going to give mouth to mouth or something, and then just like pulls a dagger and stabs it in the neck, and then it's like, okay, I'm done.
You look over, and a soldier's just marking up a page.
Hey, Tatho is gonna literally cut the bottom of the dummy off, like the little stand. Gonna cut that off, and literally gonna try to piece the little part that I basically cut through, put it together, and basically stick the sword that I had basically through it to where it holds together. And I'm gonna say, that's all I got.
I'm trying to.
You see it so.
We're trying to fix these
Yeah,
dummies,
you
right?
see another soldier just disappointingly mark things up.
That's all I got.
I
Brand-
mean, his misery. I mean, look, he's already like missing half a torso.
Brand, you do what you do best. You raise the limbs that you had managed to cut. You take some of its wrappings and make bandages. Veiyanitara, you try to channel the land around you to aid in stitching these wounds, and it seems to have made a difference as some of the plant, matter of the canvas kind of comes back together. Sergeant Drake nods slowly at you two while passing, and marks to his soldiers to take note. However, as you guys take a breath and look up, you look to your left and you see some priests plastered with images of a face and a sun, obviously of that of Pelor. They begin chanting, looking up to the sky, eyes back of their head, and you see them summon great beams of light down to these dummies. And it's so bright you can't see much, and you blink, and when you open your eyes again, immaculate dummies, back exactly how they were. And once you see that, you're like, oh my gosh. And Sergeant goes, "What are you standing around for? Take the bow and kill the dummy!" And you see everybody runs back to the original positions, grabs the bows.
I ain't no damn fucking dex build.
Bring it all back.
This is a lot.
Yeah, it's boot camp. You all
Know how to use a crossbow.
You all run away from the dummies and pick up a longbow. You take aim and fire. This
Sorry
time,
if I hit anyone.
Vey, Scarlet, Tatho, and Brand all have a very hard time finding their shot when Sergeant Drake yells, "You couldn't hit the broadside of a damn mountain!" Kriss, you managed to get quite a few shots into the dummy, and Yaros, you basically make all of your shots. Having emptied your quiver, you look over to see a few bowsmen, but they're knocking the dead center of the target twice your speed. Da, 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 da. You've hit all the dummy with all your arrows, but they're fully scattered. These are precise in a small circle, dead center. It hurts my soul to know soldiers' lives are in your hands while in the front line. Head to the tables, take your test, and I pray you're at least book smart. So all of you guys head to these tables that are in the back, and they seem to be manned by a young lady, a student in garbs, and then a older, seemingly much wiser woman. And they hand you a stack of papers with a writing utensil. And everybody kind of just sits on the ground to take this test. Tatho, you quickly look up to confirm with anybody that this literally isn't gibberish. But the only person who meets your eyes is an equally confused Yaros. Kriss and Vey, You are good enough at reasoning to get some of the answers, but you're guessing at most. Scarlet and Brand, you both managed to get through the whole packet, but only by skipping almost every other question. And when you finally look up after focusing for so long, you see a few others in robes patiently waiting with their pencils laid across meticulously on their paperwork board. And you hear, "All right, finally, it's time to test your mettle. Line up single file to the volunteer transmutation students from Bacab University. Submit your test and try to stay standing on 2 feet." You all line up, very confused.
You cut out a little bit.
Oh, did I?
You cut out at the very end.
Okay.
So we don't know what the task was.
He said, line up single file to the volunteer transmutation students from Bacab University, submit your test, and try to stay standing on 2 feet. You line up.
Okay.
You line up, very confused about what's about to happen.
Okay.
Would like to cast guidance on myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. Yeah, you both do so. And nobody bats an eye. Not this time. I'll find my place. Okay. You all go up, and there's one person ahead of each of you, or in front of the 6 of you. They turn in their test, and the student kind of steps forward, waves their wand. Nothing happens. So the soldier kind of makes a note. The older lady walks up with an orb, waves her hand over it. Nothing happens. He goes and takes his spot back in the original formation. Next in line is Tatho. You turn in your mostly empty papers, stand still. The student waves a wand, and to everyone around him, big puff of smoke happens, and where Tatho stood now stands a full black-maned quadrupedal lion.
Damn.
The soldier next to him nods his head disapprovingly, marks an obvious X, gives a nod to the young student who once again waves her wand, and then puff of smoke, Tatho's back.
Oh boy, I can't wait to find out what my
Persona?
first... God damn it, I was trying to think of another word.
So he goes,
Well,
please
damn it.
please step back to your spot. He walks away.
Do I get
That's
to pick my
4
animal?
People are just ignoring you. Next is Yaros, and with a flick of the wand, he turns into a Doberman. With another flick of a wand, he comes back and he takes his place. After him is Brand, who gets turned into a hawk. Kriss, Scarlet, and Veiyanitara, you all make it past the first student. When the spell is cast, you begin it to feel to take hold on you, but with knowledge of the arcane, you're able to make the waves of magic flow around you and not through you, not letting it reach its target. However, the older caster does get the better of you. Kriss, you get turned into a raven, black as the night.
She attempts to fly away immediately.
Waves her hand, you drop 2 feet back to the ground. Scarlet, you get turned into a small red panda.
A what?
A red
Adorable.
panda.
Oh, a red panda.
Yeah.
I thought you said a small dead panda, and I was like, why?
Oh,
Why
no.
am I dead?
No, much cuter.
Much cuter than that.
Um,
That's red panda.
And Veiyanitara, you get morphed into a tall, strong black deer. They bring you back. After all this, you get back to your positions. Let's go ahead and move you guys. Boop, 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 boop. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And Sergeant Drake begins pacing back and forth. Well, some of you are heroes. Some of you ain't worthy of being their squire and wiping their ass. I hope you got what you needed, General Kavanaugh. I'd like everybody to roll perception. Everybody...
Perceptione.
Yeah.
Perception inside of...
Whatever.
Pause.
D&D Beyond would probably be a little easier if you don't have it set up.
Why does D&D Beyond roll so fast on my laptop, but so slow on my desktop? I don't
Stonks.
understand.
The only
So,
thing I can think of is if you still have the extension to try to get it to work in TaleSpire, it makes it a
maybe.
lot slower.
I don't think
Yeah,
I have that
yeah.
on my Doodle
I
Pro.
turned that shit off.
All right. Does
21.
Anybody? I'm just gonna say this. Anybody who makes over a 12. Anybody who gets less than a 12 doesn't see it, who this guy's talking to. Anybody who makes it over a 12, you see at the top of the wall in this behind the yard is a tall, little bit older half-elf gentleman. Anybody who made over a 12 can also attempt a history roll. And then let me know of everybody who rolled that if you get over a 15.
I rolled a 22 on my perception check.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
rolled a 20, by the way.
Okay, if you got over a 12, roll for history and let me know if you get over a 15.
Oh, roll a history check?
Yeah.
All in history, okay.
Oh.
If you made your perception check positively, also roll history. If you see the guy, now you're making the history check.
Okay, I rolled a 14 because I have a -1 in intelligence.
So let me know if anybody gets a 15 on the history roll.
I failed the history.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, nobody gets it. So you guys aren't familiar with this gentleman, but some of you are keen enough. You clocked who he's talking to. And those who did make it, you can see him kind of politely saying back, "I did, Sergeant. Thank you for your due diligence." And then anybody who made that roll, you see he kind of makes a little bit of eye contact as he scans over. All right, go get your meals at the mess hall and head back to your quarters. We will send the results to headquarters, where they will calculate the results and decide which branch of the military you will be enlisted to and where you will be shipped out. Report back here in your positions at 0600 hours. Dismissed. And you all head single file line back to the dining hall, which I will teleport y'all to. If you give me a second. Everybody kind of takes the table, which will conveniently only give you each the same table to sit at. Funny how that works, huh?
I hate this.
Destiny.
You're literally railroading my campaign. Oh!
Re.
Stay mad. Alright, so y'all should all be able to see where y'all are at now. You are all served a slice of ham on bread with a pat of butter and a glass of milk. And y'all sit here and eat. You have been through a long, very tiring day as you all sit together.
I'm still at the other scene, so I don't know what's happening right now.
It's still the same scene. You just have teleported positions. If you click your character portrait on the left, it'll bring you to them. You're now in the mess hall.
Got you. I'm dumb.
Same. Big same.
Faye is gonna do that thing you see where it's like someone very tired sits down, gets ready to eat, and like cuts a piece of the food, and then immediately face first, like next to the tray, exhausted.
Well, at least it's better than prison food, am I right? Ha!
Am I
I
right?
don't know, are you?
Joke.
I mean, like, anything's better than nothing.
I've eaten worse.
Like what, your scorpion in a jar?
Grubs, mostly.
Why would you have a scorpion in a
Why
jar?
would you-
That doesn't
Why would you
make
eat
a whole lot of
grubs?
sense.
The scorpions out in the shadowed canyons often have medicinal properties.
When he says that, Veiyanitara very like tired.
Aren't they poisonous?
Some are poisonous, yes. Some, the poison can be, refined, changed, altered.
Huh.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, you're
Cool.
speaking way beyond my means, but that sounds cool as hell.
Yes, I suppose.
So as you guys have these small little conversations, you head to your quarters. It's now the late afternoon, and coincidentally, the six of you have been assigned the same room.
What?
I can't
course.
believe.
Co-ed bunks?
Yeah,
It's funny.
It-
It's
they-
funny how this works out.
yeah, they put the six grunts all in the same room.
I hate this.
Fancy that.
So yeah, the day is once again succeeded by the night. You think about
Dibs on the top bunk.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring y'all there. I have a bunker room.
Oh shit.
I built a map, bro.
Oh shit.
Take me there. I wanna go there. Take me there.
There you go. Well, the day is once again succeeded by the night. You think about the things you've said to each other and the things that you've held close to your chest here as you drift to sleep. You know that during the night as you slumber, your fates will be determined. Where you will be stationed, where you will see combat. Will you witness death? Will you yourself be like the light of the sun at the end of the day and meet your end? Tomorrow, the sun will once again arise, and you will march closer to your destiny. This was my original ending, but we're a little early, so I'm going to take a quick tavern break, and I think we'll continue for a little bit longer. Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll take
I
a 3-minute break, and then I'll
can't
talk
this
to you.
session Today.
You can't what?
Also, I can't play today.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, well, we're going to take a 3-minute break while Connor's the worst, and we'll be, like, right back. We back. That was a quick break. The day is March 18th in the year of Paylor 765. You all awoke to bugles announcing the sound of the day even while it's still dark out. There's a large commotion as you hear people from other barracks get up and start marching. You remember your instructions to go back to your position at 0600 hours. Let's change it to 0600 hours because I can do that. Yeah. There we go. We'll drag characters back out.
Take me where I want to be.
Take me on a trip. I wanna go someplace.
Yeah, you did it.
You need Kriss.
Oh, really?
As soon as you reach your positions, you're kind of the last to do so. And you hear the sergeant walk up to you guys and go, "Of course you maggots are the last to make it. I fear for our new country. I only hope they keep you out of anything that can hurt others." As he kind of stares all you down. Through the night, HQ has gone through and determined what and where we need personnel and where your individual skills will be most needed. Listen for your name, branch, location, and train departure time. He is the guy next to him, hands him a scroll as he unfurls it, and he begins to read. Aaron, Navy, Port Pillswood, Willachie, 0800 hours. Silren, Frontiersman, Spitwater, Shadow Canyons, 1000 hours. Umarin, Navy, Port Imbaroon, Apramia, 1100 hours. Orcoat, Rockcoat, Kegspine, Flintbrow, Army, Snake Pass, Apramia, 1200 hours. Pressler, Squirrely, Fallen Gorge, Capital Shard, 1700 hours. Ilmus, Frontiersman, Port Falgendry, Southern Territory, 1800 hours. Earthcloak, Navy, Ports Locksmith, Great Hawk, 1500 hours. Brand, Wildheart, Keeton, Nichols, Loubert, Lero. Fort Marship, Bothglade, 2100 hours. And he closes the scroll, hands it back to the guard next to him, and goes, "You are to remain here you remain here until your train arrives. We will break for mess hall after this meeting, then again at 1200 hours, and finally at 1900 hours for those who remain. If we are not breaking for that, or you are not packing to leave, you will be receiving PT. Go eat, meet back here at 800 hours. Dismissed."
Sir. I'm kind of unclear.
Don't talk to me. You can talk to a guard. I got shit to do.
Sorry.
Damn.
And he just walks off.
You've got the
Damn.
No, he handed the scroll to a different guard after you read it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
that was
Okay.
very
So where's the
rude.
guard at? By the way.
It would have been this guard here.
I'm just gonna be like, just sit up there like, sir.
As he walked forward, he goes, "Mess hall, let's go."
Seems as though no one wants to actually listen.
I don't.
You
I
only
don't
just
think...
now figured this out?
Welcome to the military.
How typical.
I do want to ask this though. Like they said that we were gonna be put in places where we'd be best, and all of us going the same place, but we're not all with the same types of skill sets. So why are we all going together?
Wow, it's
Do you,
almost like
do you
we
ask
different
this to the
people.
guard?
Yeah, broad
No.
Okay.
is generally.
You'd have to excuse me. Maybe I'm just taking words a little bit too literally, and I don't know anything about this whole military strategy stuff. You have to excuse me, I guess.
Well, I don't either, but I know how to work with a team, so...
Yeah, you guys all, as this conversation's, like, y'all are kind of farmed into the, back to the mess hall where y'all can eat and continue to discuss this. And there are guards around there as well.
What was the name of the thing again that we're assigned to?
Fort Marcia,
Grant?
Balleth Glade, 2100 hours.
Chris,
Scarlet's
yeah.
gonna ask if any of them know about this area that we're going to. Fort Marcia?
Can I make a history check?
Everybody can make a history check. Yeah, just a flat history check.
Is D&D Beyond like kind of chugging for anybody else?
Not me. I don't have anything.
No. 10.
Weird.
Let me
History check, you said?
make a history check. Let me know if you get above a 13, let's say.
I did.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Look for some history.
Got me a 16.
So we
I
got
don't
a
like that
13,
minus
16. Alright, nobody else made it?
No, I got a 18.
18.
I got a 1.
No, you don't.
Makes sense that Scarlet
You did ask the question, yeah.
I did ask the question.
Alright, so I got 2 people who passed. You guys know that Fort Marcia, it's in the city of Rochefort, which is this kind of the center of the low magic crystal production. You know that they have a powerful port, and that they are strategically on the mouth of the Sachez River, which is the lifeblood of this part of the country. So it's a very old port. It's one of the oldest towns that were originally settled by the outside powers, but it's a very important fort.
Why would they send us there? Like all of us together. Since we're all different skills-wise.
I mean, I suppose they just need a
Variety.
good bit of help over there then, right?
Yeah, maybe they're starting something new.
Yeah, you guys all kind of arrived to the mess hall.
Or maybe we're
we're
just
all the
complete
bottom of the
clowns.
list.
Yes, I like the way you think.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
clowns going to the circus.
Come to the circus.
Yep, so you all finish eating your quick meals, and you see one person kind of peels off. You assume that they were that one that had that 800-hour call. And so, I lost my place. You guys go back to your positions once again. This time,
Becoming really fond of this particular position in the middle of the field next to you guys.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Good spot.
Primo real estate.
Yep.
Primo! But anyway.
yeah, and this time the sun has risen a little bit. Oh, there we go. You make your positions minus one person, and the sergeant walks back up and says, "Start running and don't stop till you drop. And when you drop, I'm going to bring you back up so you can keep at it. So when you finally run away with your life on that battlefield, you'll come back and thank old Sergeant Drake. Now get going."
Why are we doing this again?
Not again.
PT
Be
time!
another long day.
want to get +1 strength at the end.
Everybody make a DC 15.
We're working out. We're getting fit.
Everybody tell me if you make a DC 15 Constitution check.
Check, right? Not a save.
A save. No, I'm sorry, a save.
Hell yeah. Aw, fuck.
Let me know if you get above a 15.
Hell
Did I roll a 1? I got
Bro.
a 6.
Nice
This is
save.
the 1. It's already it's
Nice.
automatic
Nice
failure.
save, brother.
Everybody who saves runs for hours and like has to take a breath, goes back to walking. Everybody who didn't drops down, a healer comes back, gives you some juice, and you get back to it.
I rolled 4 4s in a row.
Hell yeah, brother.
You keep dropping, and they keep having to bring you up. And every time Sergeant has, well, get your ass up! You're gonna die like this, soldier!
God damn.
Do I make another con roll?
No, you just... If you failed it, a healer has to come, give you enough juice to gas you back up, so you can keep running.
Chris is in the same boat as Bran, except
Yeah. Very
when
similar both.
when he's like, "Why do you keep falling down?" She's like, "I just really like this juice."
Yeah, like, y'all run and literally collapse, and they juice you up, and it's like, you're not less tired, you just can run more.
Yeah.
And after what seems like an eternity of torture, you hear a loud whistle and Sergeant yelling, "Everyone out to the mess hall! Get fuel for your body and come back out!"
Let's see how long it'll stay down this time.
And so you
Can I get some more
guys...
juice.
I'm gonna vomit.
You guys go back to the mess hall. This time, it seems like about half the people don't make it to the mess hall. They've either peeled out to go make their assignments, but you guys remain, and you get your plate of sustenance as you all sit at the table.
I think Brand's like head flame is like burning extremely hot. He just looks very annoyed.
Yeah, Scarlet looks pale. Like all of her just looks pale.
Alright, so you guys, you hear the whistle blow. Time to get back out there! And you guys walk out back to your spots. This time only about half the people are there, and you hear the sergeant go, "We practice running away. Now kill your enemy, patch him up, and kill him again. Go!"
Can I use I'm gonna use create bonfire on a dummy this time.
Sure, nobody says anything this time.
He just says to kill it. I kill it.
Ooh, bonfire.
Yeah, so you can each attack it however you so wish. They don't seem to care this time.
I'm just going
Hell
to
yeah.
shoot a ray of frost out of my hand.
Do you know what? Chris
Towards
is
the
going
dummy.
to drag her dummy over to the bonfire and just throw it in there.
Scarlet's gonna raise up a hand for a high five.
She high fives her.
It was teamwork.
Hell yeah.
Tathos is just gonna like literally, instead of healing up the dummy, whatever, it's just gonna literally cut the dummy's like bottom off and literally say, "This is the best I can fucking do."
So after you
Scarlet's
all...
Listen, we're not healers, bro. We're fine.
I want to get mine in there.
Yeah,
It's a healer's job.
go ahead.
Brand like surgically like cuts the throat of his, and then like fucking puts the dummy down and does like full on surgery.
Yeah, so after you've all attacked
The
it...
new trachea.
Yeah. After you've all attacked it, Sergeant goes, "Alright, go save him." And so, Brand's over there giving
Scarlet's
surgery.
like, I'm not a healer. Brand, could you fix mine? Could you
Yeah,
fix mine, please?
Brand cast mending.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm just gonna turn around and say, "Sir, I do not know how to do that. Someone else will be better equipped to do it."
I said fix it! It is your
I
fallen
do not know
soldier!
how.
Listen, don't talk
Are you
to
giving
him.
me lip?
Just ask Brand. Don't talk to him. Just ask Brand. Brand will fix it.
Brand, it's gonna work over. Brand, this doesn't make fucking sense. Can you help me out here quick? I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, and you just cast mending.
Alright. So all of your dummies are in some state that exists. And he goes, "Alright, your enemies approach! Kill them!" And this...
Set them on fire.
throws her dummy in again.
Oh my god.
You all make your attacks. He goes, Your fallen allies have happened. Bring them back.
All right, Brand. It's all you, Brand. I support Brand, but for emotionally.
This cycle happens for hours.
Sorry, Brand.
Sorry.
Brand, I would like you to make
we do a system of destroying our dummies and then bringing them to Brand, like all in a pile.
Yeah.
Brand, you don't have to kill yours, Brand. I'll kill yours for you, Brand, and you just fix them. We'll have a system.
Brand, can you make a? Let's do this is gonna be a Constitution check.
Constitution, okay. Like a save?
Yeah.
You got this, Brand.
I don't know why my dice roller on
Use
D&D
guidance on
has been
yourself,
really
Brand.
slow, but I rolled another 4.
Cool.
Listen, wait.
No.
I'm gonna roll out my dice a little bit. Mash.
Mesh.
I think my shit is straight up broken. Anyway, I rolled a 7.
Okay, I'm taking the 4. Because it's funnier.
Or you rolled another
Very-
4?
I have a question.
Uh huh.
On like whatever is like the latest round of kill the enemies,
Yeah.
Vey is just going to be very tired of this. Just like wave her hand, and as many dummies as she can fit within 10 feet just fall apart as the earth around it literally just like shades apart.
Sure. Yeah. So you shake the part, and all the dummies just snap off their post
Yeah,
and fall.
literally just like very tired, be like, God, just
Yeah,
like
well-
waves her hand.
Yeah, we'll say this is like the
They're all
15th or
destroyed.
16th time this has happened. You see them all
Yeah.
drive. You all look back, and Bran looks at you and collapses. Just drops unconscious.
I'll drag Brand over to the side,
Oh no.
splash some water in his face.
At this point,
Slap in the face.
one of the guards goes, "Hey, out of the way." All right,
My ally has fallen, and I am helping him.
they
Me too. She's
they-
just standing there.
they rub their hands together, and like a white glow comes, and they put their hands on his chest, and Bran, you go, no less exhausted. It feels like every ounce of magic has left your body, but you're up.
You think you can still fix the dummy?
Yeah, and you look over and you see all
You
the
should rest.
you see all the
Bring it to
dummies
me.
have been
Bring
snapped
the
off of
dummy.
them.
Well, you know, maybe you have been pushing yourself a little bit.
Pushing myself? Bring me the dummy.
Oh shit, Brand.
Bring you all the
No,
dummies.
they destroyed all the dummies. They're in a pit now.
Just like everything I touch.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
no.
it's like where they were.
Stop
Like,
this.
I think that scorpion juice is getting to him.
This was on like gravel, right?
Yeah, I think you need to lay off the scorpion juice there, buddy. Come on, get up.
Scorpion juice helps me live.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god. He is the
Definitely
sun.
Found the meme. Session 1.
What's going on with this man?
This man got scorpion hooch.
Oh my god.
Uncle, brother, Patsy's.
Uncle brother.
Turbo net.
Nasty
Rocket hooch.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Oh my god.
yeah, you bring it to Brand, and he gives it every ounce of gas, and he kind of blacks out from time to time. But they bring him back, and this goes on for hours as you all are just beyond the point of exhaustion. And you hear and you look up, and it's like you guys and like 2 other people left. Everybody else is peeled off for their assignments. And Sergeant goes, "Your training is done for the day. I expect you to keep this level of intensity during your military campaign. Otherwise, I expect to never see you again until I read you off the list of fallen soldiers. You either get better or you see yourself and those in your party die. Remember that. Dismissed."
Excellent. I'll remember it forever.
Oh, what
I
a
won't.
positive note to end on.
And
I will not remember you.
you go.
Y'all can think.
Yeah, you guys head to the mess hall and you all sit with your meals once again and kind of y'all discuss how tired and stuff or whatever y'all want to talk about.
Yeah, Scarlet lays her head down on the table, like the kathonk, and she just takes a little nap.
Was,
I'm not tired at all. I'm just.
Yes, you are.
Well,
You
no,
are-
like not in the sense of just like exhausted, like, ugh, but in the sense of I am fucking frustrated.
Yeah, you are physically
Shit.
spent. You
Fueled
are
by
done.
Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am wobbling on the edge of falling backwards out of my seat.
Okay, this is bullshit. We need to figure out a way to dummy factory, bonfire, fire factory. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore.
Like
She
how
just
to
crams a sandwich in
systematically,
her mouth.
like how to systematically destroy and then recreate all the dummies. Yes, excellent idea.
I think a good sleep on it would do us some good before we start
Aren't we?
sounding
there
like
any-
scorpion juice over here.
Aren't we supposed to be leaving here today?
We are.
Yeah,
we're
we
leaving
are.
today, so we should be fine. Hopefully we don't keep doing this in training, but hell, maybe we do.
This shit's fucking stupid.
Maybe the war's against the dummies.
This is the war
Then why are we healing them?
to kill them. To
We're-
kill them again. It's a cycle. Don't you see? Don't
Oh,
you
here
see?
you are to kill you again. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
it's like interrogation. Actually, that's really grim. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that joke.
I can feel the path of life and death carved into me now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely got a big scorpion juice kicking.
Yep.
Brand,
About
Brand, you should eat something.
SJ,
food.
have you got anything on your stomach anymore?
The scorpion juice sustains me.
No, no, Brand, eat the gruel, Brand. Eat the gruel.
Fine, I'll eat the gruel.
here, I think I have something that might help us. And I'm going to hold out one hand, and with a wave of my other hand, you see 6 individual little berries appear
Good berries.
as I cast Good Berry.
The delicious berry.
This might
What's-
help us feel a little better.
Yeah, so you all, or whoever chooses to, grabs a good berry and
Yeah,
pops it.
I'll grab. I
I'll
feel like
grab
I
a
would
good
have heard. I feel like I would have heard of.
Yeah,
good berries.
these are pretty common. Like,
I definitely would have heard of good
Yeah.
berries.
and as you pop it, you don't get any really less tired, but your mind kind of clears and you can.
You feel full. I think when you eat.
Yeah,
them,
you
too.
feel full.
Yeah.
You feel you are sustained for the day, and like you're not really any less exhausted, but you can kind of feel
World
okay.
feeding us.
Yeah.
Yes, this is better than gruel.
I mean, it could be
100%.
worse. I
The
don't know.
gruel or the good berries?
Well, I mean, okay, the good berries are always good, but
Good berries are
gruel,
good.
gruel's
Good.
pretty all right here. Not gonna lie.
On gruel standards, it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know,
And
it's all
how would you know
relative.
what better gruel tastes like?
I'm
Well,
a
there-
big gruel aficionado. I do a newsletter where I review gruel.
Tatho
All
just
across
looks back
nation.
down and just doesn't care to work because he knows you're fucking lying.
This-
He doesn't
this
even
is-
have to fucking even hear
this
it or
is-
do a
this
check.
This is like
A
cream of the
newsletter?
crop gruel. This is gruel that has risen to the top of the gruel pot. There is gruel at the bottom of the gruel pot where all the gristle is.
Well,
And
that's
that's
also
the
the
gruel that you don't want.
well,
I
that's the
wanted-
crunchy part, so the
newsletter.
texture is actually pretty good.
I wanted to
I'm
come
not a fan.
here, maybe expand myself and meet new people. I regret every bit of it. Now.
That's the
with,
spirit.
What is a
with
newsletter?
all due
Well, what-
respect, y'all are sounding like y'all really need a nap.
Yes.
This thing's kind of getting away from you.
It is.
What's it? You've never seen a newsletter?
No, we don't really get newsletters on a farm too often.
I can show
I'll
you
be
later.
honest. I'll be honest. I
You're
haven't.
of the
I
land
haven't.
too.
Seen,
Now look, I've been plenty nice, but right now, you keep on with that incessant fucking talking and that lying, it's gonna be something completely different coming out of me now. I've been respectful now, okay? Thank you.
What?
they,
All the damn
you were,
lie.
you were saying something about the land. Yes.
Yeah, you said a farm. You're You're of the land as well.
In a manner of speaking, yeah. Did you also have a farm?
I should say that I lived off the land, I think is how people say it.
That's how people
Okay.
say it. That's definitely. I've heard people say that before. Live off the land. That's a thing.
Then, yes, I lived off the land.
All right, so you're just not much of a city folk, kind of like me. That's pretty cool.
Yes, that's quite cool.
Well, you're a druid though. You did the good berries.
Yes.
One of my friends, he's from a druid tribe.
Oh.
He left it though. But yes, he's told me about good berries.
Ah, I see. Yes, it's a beginner druid craft that most are taught about. It's good for rejuvenation and revitalization.
Yeah, some of the path mothers of the Ashen tribe made good berries as well.
The who? The who?
Path mothers.
Uh,
The Ashen tribe? My tribe, my people.
Oh.
Oh. I see. I must say, I'm honestly quite surprised. I didn't expect there to be more magic like that out here.
About this time, a soldier walks up. He goes, "All right, it's about time you guys grab your things, and we'll escort you back to the train to where you'll be appointed."
To leave forever. Excellent.
Another fucking train.
I can't wait.
I liked the train more than this.
that is
They
accurate.
The thing we rode, it's called a train.
It's called
Yes.
a train. I mean, that was my first time riding one. Was that your first time riding one?
Yes.
all right. So
Well,
they bring you back to the room. You grab your things, and you continue the conversation as you walk towards the train.
Talking about trains, going on a train. Boop boop, be doop.
You all. Let's get to the tutu.
Let's get to the train.
That's the official name of the train now. Is the toot toot.
Don't do this to me, please.
Hey, no, because I didn't change the model. This is also the canonical train from Exile of Outlaws.
Damn.
Think about that, buddies.
This train has
Hey.
been through a lot.
No, I
Train
hear that
seems
you
to train
can't. I hear
characters.
that you can't die if you fall off this train.
I mean, like
Someone
also-
says that. I need to.
You can almost.
I need some more light.
There's
mean-
rumors, there's rumors that you can't die if you fall off of a train. Any train. You can't die. It's impossible.
He says that, but literally, why would he make a different train? It's just reusing assets.
Bro,
baby.
chill. It's lore.
No. Okay, we'll call it lore. All right.
Don't forget that those characters still exist in this world right now.
A lot of lore.
They're war heroes. Canonically war heroes.
Lore.
There we go. Get some light.
Lore. He calls it.
I wonder if we say lore enough times that it'll lose all meaning.
All right, so you head to the train, and the second story is kind of a sleeper cart, and you all have your own little sections, but you kind of sit here for just a bit before you all head up because you're all exhausted. All right, so you hang out for a while, then head up, and it has been. I'm sorry. You walk. The conductor walks up and goes, "Ah, I see you made it out alive. Bet you're glad you're out of that place."
Very.
Well,
It wasn't great.
my instructions said that you lot will be heading to Roosford. Is that correct?
Roosford?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
We're-
where the
Fort
the
Marshall.
fort. Yeah,
Oh.
that's correct.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, this is gonna be a red-eye train, so you guys can go ahead and head to the sleeper cab up top. And when you wake, we'll be arriving in the city.
Sounds
Train have
wonderful.
eyes.
I'm sorry, what? Brand, what did you say?
He
I'm
said
sorry,
it's
what?
He said it's a red-eye train. Why does the train have eyes?
No, the
Uh,
train
Maybe it's so it
doesn't
can
have
see better
eyes.
in the night.
So it can see better in the night?
Yeah, SJ, I
It's
just
got
think you
one
need to
big-
go up and
Uh,
take a
Big
sleep.
red
You need-
headlight.
The
You
conductor,
put your
the
ass to
conductor
sleep.
turns back around and walks up and goes, I think they're giving you a jab, but a red eye means that we will be traveling through the night, and it's expected you'll probably go to sleep.
Oh.
That's
So
what
we
that
go
means.
night.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to sleep on a moving vehicle, so you don't get great sleep, and so you wake up with red eyes. That's where the name comes from.
I see.
Does make more sense
So
than the train having eyes. I
you
guess.
you lot are pretty tired. Go ahead and head up, and we'll go to sleep for the night. And me and the engineer will make sure we'll get to where we need to go.
I'll never forgive you for ruining my joke.
That's
I just want you to
fine.
know that.
Out of character, real quick, Tyler.
Uh-huh.
What would roughly the current?
Ooh, I never
date
moved y'all. Sorry, give me exactly.
No, you're fine. I'm just.
I have it written. The day is March 18th in the year of Paylor, 765.
765.
So yeah, it has been one of the longest days of your entire life that each of you can remember. Your bodies are exhausted, your minds have gone through a lot, and you each lie there. And I would like to know, what does your character think about the past and the future that lies ahead of them? Let's start with Brand. As he's sitting there, drifting to sleep. What's the forbearing thoughts in his head? Brand?
Cold.
I'm sorry, could you say that
He
again?
passed out, and
I said-
He's asleep.
As you lay there to go to rest, you guys are thinking about the past and the future, and there's a lot kind of going through your mind, but your bodies are exhausted. And I'd like to know what's like the forbearing thoughts going through Brand's head as he goes to sleep, thinking about the future and the past.
That's tough.
I can skip to someone else.
Yeah.
Anybody want to volunteer? All right, then we'll go next down the line.
well,
I-
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay, yeah. Yaros, what is on Yaros' mind as he thinks about what's transpired and what's coming ahead?
Well, he's thinking about how, I mean, it's kind of been a whirlwind, but he's a little secretly grateful that he's kind of stuck with a group of people, because he was hearing some of the people going off by themselves for their assignments, and being used to a large family, he gets kind of lonely easy if he's by himself. So, but he's recently done a lot of thinking about what's led him to this point. So he's less worried about the past and more not anxious, but I guess optimistic about when they get to the new fort and how things are going to unfold.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Vay? Like you had something.
Faye is going to sit and looking out at the stars, think about what the message that was relayed to her several times the last time she spoke to her quarry was.
Yeah, in your head you keep hearing the same phrase echoed over and over and over. It says, "When the land circles the sun, a great blue light cast away from the stars will come to be. You and your circle must dim the light to darkness." And that phrase echoes just kind of consistently.
And then thinking about that, and also thinking about looking out of the stars, what she can learn about her focus, druidic focus, and then as she gets ready to go to sleep and attempt to commune with her quarry again, she is going to think about her mother and father, probably angry, confused, distraught, going to the Elder Seer to see if they can maybe scry her, and then wondering what Numi's doing right now.
Yeah. And so as you kind of think about these things, the familiar haze of sleep comes to you, because sleep is a little different for you, and as you go, these thoughts turn to turbulence and start swirling in random directions and turns to fog as you go to sleep. Yaros, the same was for you, as you think about the big family and the kind of this new family you have. Your body eventually gives to exhaustion, and you kind of go to sleep thinking about them. Brand, let's go back to you. What's Brand thinking of?
I think there's a big part of Brand that is feeling like that he's like maybe done the fucking wrong thing joining the military at his age, after being, tortured and insulted by probably like some people that are younger than him. But then there's this smaller part of him that's just keeps telling himself like this is all for the crying death. This is all to save the disease. This is all to stop. Like this is all for your task that you have to complete. So I think Brand is exhausted and frustrated, but at the same time resolved.
Yeah, you have this overall cloud of regret, but you remember that whatever this is temporary, and your determination kind of sees you through that fog, and when you kind of become resolute with yourself and go, no, I did the right thing, your mind goes to ease and you kind of drift off into sleep. Tatho, what's Tatho thinking about?
Tatho is thinking about, how vibrant his new party, if you could even call it that, is kind of always have in the back of his mind how his parents are doing, how his family is doing, because he did leave them in the not best of living situation, but knows that he's ready to take on anything that comes on the next day, because it's only going to make him stronger and a better person, and eventually be able to give his family a new, a better life. He can be able to start helping out at home from afar. So he's absolutely excited at the opportunity that waits ahead of him.
Yeah, you get this thrill of excitement, and you kind of remember through the day, like, there were parts you utterly failed, but you're proud of kind of what you did, and even if you weren't the best, you gave it everything you got, and your family would be proud, and you kind of think about them and the future that you hope to give them, and you kind of go to ease as you fall asleep. Kriss. What's Kriss thinking?
Kriss is thinking about those beans.
The berries?
I'm...
The good berry bean.
I couldn't help myself.
Literally what?
Alright, well, Kriss dies. Roll a new character, please.
Kriss died thinking about them beans.
Those beans. No,
Beans, the bean kid did.
Oh my god.
She's gonna take out the ruby, check on it, say a little prayer.
Yeah, each of these little cabins you have a tiny like quarter window, and we have last night was a new moon, so now we have like a waxing slight crescent, and just enough to come in, and the light hits that beautiful ruby, and even the little cabin you're in kind of gets a red shimmer as you twirl it, and you can see it almost looks like stars inside the room. And you ponder about this and the implications of having it and what's to come, and you think today sucks, and you almost go to sleep out of frustration.
She is scheming though, scheming to have Scarlet help her build giant bonfires. Absolutely monster bonfires.
Yeah, you're thinking about the skills of your other people you met today and how you might be able to use them in the future. And you fade to sleep. Scarlet, what's Scarlet thinking about?
Well, Scarlet, I think initially going into all of this was frustrated with the way things went the first day, but she feels pretty good about the second day and how, like, the things that she wasn't good at was sort of made up with these, like, new, like, team members. So she's feeling a little bit more positive than she would have if she had been by herself. And she's also thinking about how they're going to Rougeford and that she might, like, you know, her boys are in Rougeford. So she's, you know, thinking about them and thinking about these new friendships. Yeah.
Yeah, you start as you lay down in exhaustion, thinking about how frustrating it is that you went from what seemed like a jail cell to a new jail cell, and you think about kind of the corollaries, and you had a little bit of flashbacks of how terrible things were in the past and how today kind of was the same, but you think about the future and the people you've met and the things you're going to do, and things seem a little bit brighter.
Yeah, she didn't have... Like, she had her boys back at the school, but she didn't always have them.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting this with people who can help, I think, made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So she feels like things can change.
So as you see, you know, you kind of went through this cloud of kind of anxiety and panic, but now you've gone through to the other side and you see a brighter future, and you come to ease as you also go to sleep. In the morning, the sun will rise on the dawn of your future lives. The day, let's go ahead and change it.
19th?
Yeah, just raising the sun.
I'm the sun.
I am the
I am the
sun.
sun. The day,
Please.
the day is March 19th in the year of Pelor, 765. You are awoken by the sound of a handbell, gong, 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 and roll over to see the friendly conductor in the hallway. He says, "Well, if I be the first to say it, welcome to Rougeford." And you all look out the window to see something that I will describe in episode 2 of Operation Rougarou.
God damn it.